Good evening, folks. My name is John Camp. I'm with the News Herald, and I'm so proud to be here tonight for the CVC's Media Day for football. We're going to bat lead off tonight with the Independence Blue Devils. I've known Coach Rick Adams for a long time, back when he was days with the Kenston Bombers. First of all, Coach, thanks for being here, and how much you looking forward to getting this season started? 7-3 last year, and you're right on the cusp of doing great things in this league and getting to the playoffs. What are your thoughts on this year's team?
Well, thanks for having us. We're excited to kick the season off. We've been working really hard since workout started in January, and we're really excited. We're going to be a young team this year, but kids are really putting time in, and I think you're going to see some good things this year.
This has got to be one of the toughest smaller school divisions in Ohio. When you look at it, you are in a division that has, in this league, that has Kirtland, who's won state championships. Cuyahoga Heights has been to state championship games. How tough is it week in and week out to play in this league? And is this the year that the Independence gets her foot in that door for a conference championship run?
Every year, we've been improving, and so, we're just really, the old cliche is we're taking it one game at a time, and with this conference, it's really all you can do. We start off with Columbia non-conference, and they're a perennial playoff team, and then we go to Trinity, who is year in and year out. They're up there, and then we go to Cleveland Rhodes, and last year they were 7-3. So even with our non-conference, it's a tough the first three games, and then getting into conference, you just don't have a week off. It's very difficult each week, so we're just looking one game at a time, and by the end of the season, we'll see where chips fall, and hopefully good things are going to happen this year.
We're with Coach Rick Adams from the Independence Blue Devils. Coach, can you tell us who you brought with us tonight and what position they play for you?
This is Robert Artrip. He is quarterback and defensive back. Next to him is Luke Clymer. He is an offensive guard and defensive end. And then standing is Braden Sears, who's a tight end and defensive end.
Guys, thanks for coming tonight. You got your microphones there. Just hold them up to your mouth, and we'll chat a little bit. Robert, the thing that impresses me the most about you is that you've made a position change. Tell me about that. How was that transition, and how comfortable are you now that you were quarterback?
It's been a lot of work in the off season. I put a lot of time in outside of the normal practices. It hasn't changed a horrible amount because I still have the experience of spotting holes and everything from being a running back. That I just had to learn how to read coverages and throw the ball with good form. It's been a lot of work, but I think it's coming along nicely.
Tell me a little bit about this offense. What does this offense need to do to succeed this year, to move the ball, put points on the board?
Our offense, right now, we're sticking to what we've done in the past so far. What we have to do to really put points on the board this year is we have to play fast. Like Coach said, we're a young team. We don't have an insane amount of returning players coming back. But what we can do is get out there and play fast, out-compete the other team, and just out-push them to score points.
Well, hey, thank you very much. Let's bring in Luke here and chat a little bit. You are a junior captain on this team, Luke. Everybody knows that games won and lost in the trenches. You got to control those. You play on both sides of the line. Tell me about how good this line needs to play and what you expect from these guys this year.
We have a very young line this year. I'm the only starter who's returning to it. But we really just have to work on being as fast as we can. We run a very fast offense, and we're not the biggest line. So it's important for us to be moving quickly in order to push a big line back and get the push we need for our running backs to have room to run.
As the only returning lineman, I'm sure you take leadership very much to heart. Tell me about your leadership skills and how you've really tried to pass on your knowledge to these younger, more inexperienced linemen.
I think our offense is pretty basic to learn. We run a lot of zone, but it's very important for young linemen. Zone can be confusing, especially if you're used to blocking head up. So I try and spend as much time as I can. We'll run over plays before we go to team and stuff to make sure everyone knows what they're doing. And I try and talk to them as much as we can. Any questions they have, most of them will ask me on the field, so it helps us learn.
Okay, thanks very much. Let's turn it over to Braden back here, a junior captain. We've got an awful lot of junior captains out here. Tell me about your leadership role. What are your expectations for the positions you're playing this year?
So I think one of the biggest leadership things that I would say is to just keep the younger guys into it and don't let them just wander off and kind of do their own thing. You keep them into it and keep sometimes telling them what to do, but in a more not yelling at them way, but giving them a nice shove to keep it going and let them kind of make their own path.
Tight end, defensive end, that's big. Long snapping, is that just one of those unsung art forms? So many things can go wrong on a punt or a kick. How much pride and how much time do you devote to long snapping to make sure that the special teams go on without a hitch?
So we have a lot. I spend time every day long snapping, and whether it be teaching young kids how to do that, but I've been long snapping since even like middle school. And I don't know when it started, but I just kind of got to it real naturally. But there's been a lot of different little tweaks and different little tips I've gotten from the coaches on how to make it just this much better, and so it's been pretty good.
Great, thank you very much. Let's bring your senior captain back in here for a quick second here. Season's getting ramped up here. What have you passed on to these guys about what the goals are for this team? How good can Independence be this year?
I think that just what we've done in the past 2 years shows them how good that we can be. We've been in the same position the past 2 years where there's a lot of guys stepping up into varsity positions that haven't played before, and we've still been able to produce a strong team that's able to go out and compete with these big championship teams like Coach said. So I think it's more just keeping the program alive and showing these people that at one point I was in your position where I had to step up to a varsity spot, and you can do it. Like, it's not impossible to get out there and play with varsity teams, and it's just important to get the guys comfortable and pushing them to step up in practice when no one else is stepping into a position. Like receivers, a lot of times, like we're waiting on one receiver to come in, and you just have to push the younger guys to step up to show them that they can play varsity football.
Well, looking forward to seeing you guys play this year. Great having you up here, Coach Adams. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Gentlemen, Robert, good luck to you guys this year. Looking forward to the Blue Devils playing. Good luck, guys. The Independence Blue Devils. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Okay, now we're going to roll this right into the Harvey Red Raiders. Coach Dan Svelbar, known this guy a long time, bringing the Red Raiders into great positions. Always good to see you. Thanks for being here, Coach.
Thank you for having us.
Fun time of year. I've watched these guys come in a couple years ago as youngsters. They're starting to grow up through the program. Tell me about the numbers that you have and about how a young team 2 years ago has grown into maybe a little bit more of an inexperienced or an experienced program now.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some veteran guys on the team, and talking about our numbers have improved. We're up to 41 guys on our roster. We're hoping to even expand that into the school year. Drag a couple kids out from the hallways and see if we can get some freshmen and underclassmen going. But you're absolutely right. I mean, these guys are guys that we depended on as freshmen. Now they're turning into juniors and seniors, and we're really excited. It's going to be a different Harvey football team than it has been in a little while.
When you're a coach and you've got a young team and you're playing freshmen and sophomores, how important is it to keep them on task? Say, guys, I know we might be taking some lumps right now, but down the road these lumps are going to turn into muscle that we're going to learn from this, and we're going to start inflicting some of this. Is that kind of what the message was?
Yeah, absolutely. Being a teacher teaching 15-year-old kids, they don't pay attention too long too. So now these kids are starting to mature and realizing what they're capable of, and they've been working out, they've been working hard, they've gotten stronger, they've gotten faster, and they're really starting to buy into the things that we're doing. I've been on the staff now for 9 years and head coach too, so I've been with these guys for a little while, and last year was our first year together, and we've definitely leaps and bounds since the start.
We're going to chat with the boys about that in a little bit, about a year 2 under system. We've got a couple of your boys here. Before we get to them, one of them who was unable to be here tonight, one of the better two-way players in the area, Devin Holbert, a quarterback. He makes plays in defensive secondary. Is he a kind of guy that you really need to make some plays this year on both sides of the ball to really get this team rolling?
Yeah, absolutely. Devon, you got to tell him, like, hey, you're going to play and every down on defense. Obviously, you're our quarterback, but you're going to be playing safety. You're going to be expected to tackle. You're going to be expected to pick the ball up in the air. And, he's really grown tremendously from his freshman year, where he was a two-way starter then. So this is his third year being a two-way starter. So we really are excited for that opportunity for him and to really see him grow this year. So
It's really hard to believe that he is only a junior because I've been typing his name in the News Herald for so long,
Right.
and
And
so many sports. You know, he's so good. But yeah, Coach Velbar, can you tell us who you brought with you tonight and what positions they play?
So we have Derek Giffen. He's a senior center and defensive end. And then we have Gil Hammond, who's a junior running back and linebacker.
All right, well, guys, thank you for being here tonight. We'll start off with Derek here, the center position. The most important position in the game. No play starts without you.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. Have you always been a center, and how much have you really perfected that trade? How much pride do you take in that? Because no matter how good Devin is, and no matter how good your running back is, everything starts with you. If you don't get it right, the offense goes nowhere. Tell me about your job.
So pretty much my whole center job started off.
Pick it up next to your mouth, sir.
My whole center job started with my brother, and they were trying to mold me into be like how my brother was. So what really happened is that I'd be on the scout team getting the center reps in, and then come junior year, I actually started getting the varsity reps and just moved my way up.
And you also make the line calls. So how important is that? How important is to make the line calls, make sure everybody else in the line is where they need to be?
Yeah, just memorize the plays, make sure everybody knows what they're doing is my main job. I feel like I could help everybody else around me just by knowing all the plays, mostly like when people forget the plays and stuff.
Defensive end, this is a tough league. You're playing teams like Perry, who's been to the last deep playoff runs. You know, Orange only lost one game in the league last year. Tell me about the importance of defense and really getting upfield and stopping these guys before they get out going on their offense.
So, at defensive end, our plan is to contain the outside, make teams come back inside. So it's just, I feel like I'm just trying to contain the outside and do what I can with what I have.
Force them back up inside so your linebackers can make the play, right?
Yep.
Very good, very good. Let's bring Gil in here. He's a junior running back and linebacker, 3-sport letter winner. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. Is football your favorite, or is that just right now?
Just right now.
Gotcha. Coach, I know you didn't want to hear that one. Running back, I mean, so you're going to get the ball this year. I know that a lot of focus is going to be on Devin. Tell me about what you want to add to the offense as the running back for this team. You got to run the ball if you're going to win.
Yeah, I just want to add energy for real. Bring the team spirits up, help the line, get the line together, bring the team together as a unit, and get the offense together, and just be there for my guys.
Linebackers make the plays, but you can't get anything done without those big dudes in front of you. Tell me about the guys that are in your defensive line that need to make some plays so you can make yours.
Derek's one of them. We have a Jerron Hall. He came over from Lake Catholic. He's a great guy. Trevor Purcell, he's also a great guy. They're there. They get a good push, and if they get that push, you're right there, and it falls in your hands.
Is there a game that you're looking forward to this year? Do you got one circled?
Riverside.
Always, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Let's bring Coach back in here. We'll chat a little bit more about that. Tell me about who you start the season off with, and what's the importance of a semi-veteran team getting off to a good start?
Yeah, I think going into year one, I'm like, man, I'm really nervous. I got to get this monkey off my back, and I think now it's even more. Like we go into week one against Berkshire, who's here in the conference, and in a different division of the conference, and they're a tough opponent. So, we're really looking forward to that challenge, and we're really looking forward to, kind of cementing this year as an improvement from last. So it's going to be tough, and, we're excited for that challenge and opportunity.
Year two, has it been easier? I mean, last year you're putting in all the plays. You're trying to get the terminology down. Now that everybody's comfortable, has it been a little bit more smooth because there is that continuity?
Yeah, absolutely, John. I think, I've got a tremendous staff. I got every one of my guys are people that I've coached with in past. So it's been an easy transition, and it's been a better transition. And I've gotten those guys to step up and the players to step up and really take ownership of the things that we're doing.
If there is one thing that you think this team really needs, maybe two, to bring it all together and have the season that you want, what would that or what would they be?
I always say it's hard to win games when you got 22 guys. I think we and the rest of the teams around would say the more guys that you have out there, the more competitive you become, and the more you challenge those number ones for those jobs, and that's what we're trying to do. So we're welcoming anybody that will come out and help us do that and help the team be successful.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for being out here. It's always a pleasure to see the Red Raiders. That's a very proud tradition out there, guys. Good luck to you this season. I'm looking forward to seeing you play. Ladies and gentlemen, the Harvey Red Raiders. Next up, we've got Coach DeWeese and the Berkshire Badgers. I'm a Grand Valley guy, so I've got a lot of good history playing with these guys before. Coach DeWeese, thank you so much for being here tonight. Real good. Guys, come on in here. We got 2 chairs here. You just come here and stand in the back, and we'll get you all introduced. The Berkshire Badgers have known this program for a long time. The biggest thing that comes to mind right now, numbers. You got 46, 47 kids. Numbers are on the rise. You're going to get this new athletic facility. Tell me about the excitement that's going on in the school district right now where guys are coming out for football. It's just an exciting time with this new athletic facility coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. First, the community rallying around the school and bringing on that new facility, but also having the opportunity to build the program going into it and having these kids come out. And it was really a great off-season. It led into a great off-season of workouts and speed and agility workouts and that kind of thing.
When you have 47 bodies, what's the difference of that? Your ones, your twos, you're getting better looks in practice. Is that something you might be seeing day in and day out, that these kids are getting better because you do have depth to work with now?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When you can have the ones on offense or defense and then potentially a 1A or a 1B across from them, it makes a big difference.
And as proud as a program as this is, you've got upperclassmen here, you got captains. 1 and 9 is not something you guys want to do again. How much was the off-season workouts? How good were they to really pay attention to get over that hump?
It was a huge motivator for the staff and the kids. We had our best numbers since I've been coach there in the weight room and committing to the program. So, yeah, it was a great factor leading us to where we're going now.
That's great. Coach, can you introduce us to the players you brought with you tonight? What are their names and what are their positions?
Rich Klemensic here, number 1. He's a quarterback and outside linebacker, senior. Kai Bowman, number 2. He's a wide receiver and a corner. They're both captains so far. We've elected 2. Griffin Urban, number 34, outside linebacker and tight end. And then number 26, Ryan Pennypacker. He's a running back, middle linebacker, junior.
You know, the first thing that just came to mind is I was out at your camp last year, and every single one of these guys I took headshots of, and they were leaders last year. So you got to feel good about the leadership here because they were in that same position last year. Have they taken that next step up in leadership?
Definitely. They've taken control of the team, and they hold people accountable, and it shows.
That's good. We're going to bring in the quarterback here. Mr. Klemensic, tell me about running the offense, running the show. What are your expectations? What can this offense be this year?
So far, everything's been going good in 2 days in practice. It's a lot. We changed our offense this year, so there's a lot to learn, but I think everyone's picked it up pretty well so far. Everyone seems to enjoy it.
What are some of the things that this offense needs to be? Is it going to be balanced so you can be throwing the ball more? Is it, Berkshire's always run the ball well. What does this offense need to do?
It's really fast-paced. It's a lot faster, I think, than years previous. A lot of different ways that we can get yards, 5 yards quick if we need it, or a big gain right away. It's very different ways we can move the ball down the field this year.
Well, that's great. You're the leader. You get these guys together in the huddle and make it happen, okay?
Thanks.
Pass it on to your buddy down there. What's your name and what position do you play?
My name's Kai Bowman. I'm a senior, and I'm a wide receiver cornerback.
So how much are you kissing up to your buddy here to throw you the rock?
Oh, all the time. It's what you got to do.
How much does a quarterback and receiver relationship, it's not just what happens in practice. I'm sure you guys are getting together over the summer, not even just in 7-on-7s throwing. Tell me about the relationship that you guys have as far on the field where you know how he throws the ball and where you like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Rich have a great connection right now. On the field, off the field, we're always talking. Even outside of football, we're communicating, talking about what we can do, what we can improve. And on the field, we just talk. He tells me what I need to do differently, and I tell him how to adjust to the way of my playing.
And I'm sure you like hearing that it's tempo, that you guys are going to move faster this year. So how excited are you for that?
I'm really excited. It's a new year and a lot to learn, like he said, and beyond excited.
Let's pass it on to Mr. Urban back here. What positions do you play, big man?
I am a tight end and outside linebacker.
Okay, so you're in the quarterback seat. You're also throw me the rock. Big, tall target. How tall are you?
6'1".
How much does that help you in your positions that you are a big target both on offense and defense? How do you utilize your size?
It's easier to get off smaller defensive backs and get open so he can throw me the ball.
Let's bring over to Mr. Pennypacker here. What position do you play, young man?
I'm the starting running back.
That's a good position in Berkshire because they've always had that dude If you can go all the way back to Mike Hunter when he was running people over, you can go all the way up to just recently with the young boys. Berkshire's always run the rock first. How much are you looking forward to being that next guy that's going to tote the ball on Friday night?
I'm extremely excited for it. I can't wait to contribute to the team in the best way I can.
I know that if I ask you the game that you're looking forward to, I think that's a no-brainer. Tell me about the Kinsman Cup. Tell me about the rivalry with the Middlefield Cardinal.
I mean, Cardinal will be a really good game. That's all I can say. We're going to play hard.
What's it like having this type of numbers, 46, 47 kids on the team? You've got a new athletic facility coming in. What's the optimism like right now in this school?
Great. We're all looking forward to future seasons and years for the school, actually. Let's
bring Coach back in here. We'll chat with him a little bit more. Coach DeWeese, you're starting off here against the Painesville Harvey. That's been a good one the last couple of years. What do you need to do to get off to a good start? And there's a team that didn't have success last year, need a good start to get that good feeling.
Well, I think any year, any team needs a good start to get that ball rolling. More so this year coming off what we did last year. But also, I think the biggest thing that we need to do is click offensively and defensively. Come out there, work out all our kinks in our last scrimmage, and come out and know our reads and alignments and assignments and execute. That's the biggest thing we need to do.
Well, I'm so excited to hear what's going on down there. You know, the new school, the new athletic facility, numbers are up. I mean, that's great news. I'm so happy for you guys. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you, John.
Badgers, take care of stuff this year, okay? Happy for you. Good luck. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you, John.
Take care, Kai. Good seeing you, bud. We're bringing in the Perry Pirates. I tell you what, folks, Coach Matt Rosati's team, 25-2 the last 2 years. They've gone 13-1, 12-1. The only team to beat them in the last 2 years is the Steubenville Big Red. And I tell you what, you do not want to say those words around Perry right now. That is a team that is circled on the calendar. I know they want to see them again. A long way to go before them. But Coach Matt Rosati, I was at your scrimmage the other day. Exciting times. You know, most teams that would have 25-2 over the last 2 years, they'd be thinking there's a down year coming. This is a team you've been looking for a while. Tell me about the optimism about what you want this team to be and what it can be.
Well, John, this team is a team we've been waiting for a long time. Since they were very young, we knew they were going to be a quality team, great group. They've carried us for really the past 3 years. They've been a major part of our success, and now it's their time. It's a senior-dominated team. They're experienced. They're veterans at every position. They're very talented, and they're very focused and very hungry to play at a very high level of football.
You've played so many games extra than anybody else has played just because you have made deep playoff runs. How much has that helped? And you guys have got to be confident because you have played those big games before.
No question. They're very battle-tested. They don't panic. They know what's at stake. They know how to prepare, and that's been a major part of our success.
The first thing I think of when I think of your team is not only this brutal schedule that you play in the non-conference, but how many All-Ohioans do you have back? That is so rare for a team to lose the All-Ohioans that you had, and how many do you have back? That's got to be something nice to have.
It really is. We're very fortunate. Cameron Rogers, Jacob Allen, Jalen Anderson, Jake Reed, Bryce Cooper, and I know I'm probably forgetting some, Zach Early. They're great players, and we're very fortunate to have a great number of them returning. Usually if you're all Ohio, you're usually a senior and you're off and going. We lost a couple. We lost 3 seniors that were all Ohio, but to have this group back, they've earned it. They're very, very good football players, and we're very excited to get after it this year.
Coach, can you introduce me who you brought with you tonight, what their names are, and what positions they play?
Sure. I brought Jacob Allen. He's a senior. He plays wide receiver. He plays defensive back. He's really a 4-year starter for us. Zach Early plays offensive tackle. He's going to Kent State. 6'5", 270 pounds, runs really well, very physical young man. Behind him we have Jake Reed. Jake is a wide receiver. He can play some quarterback, and he was the Defensive Player of the Year, Division IV. Had 14 interceptions last year as a junior. And then next to him we have Cameron Rogers. Cameron was first-team All-Ohio as a safety. He also plays running back. Very, very physical young man. So these 4 are they're not the only seniors we have that are great football players. These were the only guys we could actually stuff in the car. So this is all we brought today.
Well, if you picked a big one to start off with there, I'm not sure. He probably took up most of the card there.
It was his car, so we had.
Oh,
no,
there
no
you go. Zach's got
negotiation.
the biggest car. Zach, let's bring you in here. First of all, congratulations on Kent State. How fun is it to be in charge of this line? And what does this line need to do to succeed?
Line needs to be physical this year. I think that's our biggest key. And what happened last year against Steubenville, we weren't physical enough. So we got to be more physical this year.
And what's it like to block for the skill that you've got behind you? You've got Drew Schiano, a new quarterback, Jalen Anderson. You've got Jacob down here. Just an amazing amount of talent.
It's awesome to block for them because even if you mess up, you know that they're going to make something happen.
Let's bring in Jacob Allen down there, an All-Ohioan. You were a first-team All-Ohioan last year, and you missed 3 games. Are you healthy this year?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. My body's feeling great.
Running back, slot, wide receiver, might take some Wildcat snaps, punt return, kick return. What don't you do?
I don't play lineman or kick. We got a good kicker.
There we go. Let's bring in the Division IV Defensive Player of the Year. You're going to play a little bit more receiver this year, Jake, but how fun is it to know that you were the top dog in Division IV, 14 interceptions last year?
I mean, it's exciting. I try to kind of keep my head on my shoulders, though, and not act like I'm the king of the world, but yeah, it's pretty cool to know that.
New quarterback this year. Tell me about Drew Schiano.
Oh, Drew is a stud. He's a phenomenal quarterback. He throws a great ball, so I'm looking forward to catching his balls this year.
Let's bring it over to Cameron Rogers here. I mean, this kid, he hits people on defense. You ought to see him run people over, folks, on offense. When you hand him the ball, he doesn't want to run around him. He just want to find someone to run over. How much fun do you take inflicting pain on people? My goodness.
I take pride in doing it. It's a great feeling.
What do you have a favorite? I mean, do you want to be the defensive back, your first team All-Ohio in there, or do you want to score some touchdowns this year?
I prefer defense, but because I get real tired real quick. But we'll go offense is fine too.
Well, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play this year. Thank you so much for being here,
Peanuts.
Coach Rosati.
John,
I will see you guys quite
Thanks
a bit
so
this
very
year.
much.
See if we can get back to that championship game, okay?
Peanuts.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like next on deck is the Cardinal Huskies. Coach Eric Cardinal, I've known him a long time. He used to go to the same church with his father, who is a judge out in Ashtabula County, John Cardinal. I've known him a long time, and it's always good to have the Huskies in the house. Like I said, I'm a Grand Valley graduate, so I've known these guys for a long time. Thanks for coming up here, guys. I know Coach is over there chatting right now, but that's okay. Let's get a microphone to Coach here. Coach Cardinal, thank you so much for being here tonight, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Camp. How are you doing?
I'm real good. Good seeing you again. How's everything down in Middlefield? You know, I see a lot on social media that there's all these tire drills. There's all these. You guys are working hard in the summer. Tell me about these summer workouts that got you to where you are now.
Well, I think we're not doing anything that everybody else is doing. We flip tires, we lift weights, we do whatever we can to get stronger. We like to do cohesive team things. That's our now famous canoe trip.
Exactly.
Down the river, we do that together. That's a pretty decent workout. But the main thing is to get the guys together and do team-oriented things. And we just hope that, we try to emphasize we're family. Family, of course, if you got a family, you know that you got a great uncle that you may not like very much, but you still got his back. And so family means that we're all in this together, and we do enough things together that I think the kids all get that. And we're pretty close in that way, and I think that helps us as much as any of the workouts themselves.
How's the numbers battle going? What do you got for numbers this year?
We're at 34 players.
That's good.
9 to 12, yeah.
9 through 12. Tell me the importance, therefore, of staying healthy, because like most small schools, I'm a Grand Valley guy. You don't have a lot of bodies out there. Someone gets hurt.
Well, it's cyclical, as you know. We went down and had a scrimmage at Wyndham, a playoff team last year, and Mineral Ridge, who won 6 or 7 games last year, and they were both in the mid-20s in numbers. And the Wyndham coach, he still expects to be very good, says, well, we only had, I can't remember now what he said, 3 or 4 freshmen, and we got 3 or 4 8th graders. So, I mean, they're going to go from the penthouse arguably to the outhouse in 2 or 3 years just because of numbers. And in a small school, that's what happens. And so you have to recruit the hallways and get as many people out as are willing to play to play, and encourage those, nurture those guys, and do the best you can. Obviously, kind of interested in the Hugh Jackson controversy about resting guys when they don't have a tweak in case they get one, and that's one way to look at it. We try to practice smart rather than give guys days off. But I think the rules we have now, I remember as a kid in Grand Valley and as a younger coach, various places. I mean, you bang heads, and then bang heads some more. And in those days, everybody played football, and I don't think that people were expendable, but the idea was, well, we're just going to get tougher by hitting each other. And you just can't do that. You have to save it for the game and be ready, do enough fundamental stuff that you don't hurt anybody in practice, and be smart about things. And that's just what we try to do. But you can never really control that because you never know what's going to happen on the very next play.
Coach, can you tell me who you brought with you tonight, what their names are, and what positions they play for you?
Yes, I got 3 senior co-captains. I have just across your radio dial here, I got Trey Shirkey, senior, running back, linebacker. I have Isaiah Tucker, who is a senior co-captain, defensive end, guard. Smallest guard in the CVC, maybe the most fundamentally sound blocker in our program for the past 5 years. So what he doesn't have in size, he makes up for in know-how and grit. And senior co-captain Matt Carney, quarterback and cornerback, who's done good things the past 2 years at quarterback, and we expect good things again.
Great. Let's bring in Trey here. I swear I cannot believe that you are still here. I've been typing your name for so long. Trey Shirkey, amazing athlete down there at Cardinal. I know that you're a leader of this team. What do you want your performances to be? What do you want to provide this team? Because I know that you've got a lot of varsity snaps under your belt.
Just someone they could count on to do their job. And, I don't know, just kind of be there if someone gets down to pick them back up. Make sure they keep trucking.
Big physical running back. What's your height and weight?
6 foot 230.
6 foot 230. Are you ever in coach's ears say, "Hey, I can handle the load. Give me the ball again. Give me the ball again"? How many carries a game do you think you can handle?
As many as he gives me.
That's a good answer there, young man. I tell you what, defensive side of the ball, I know you like to hit some people too.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring in Isaiah down here. Heard a lot about this. You don't have to be 6'5", 300 pounds to be a good offensive lineman. What's your height and weight?
I'm around 5'11", 170.
170.
On a good
So.
day.
I must have a 180. I'm not going to 170. That used to be wet, I think.
That's with all your uniform on and you're wet.
Pads and helmet.
So what do you rely on to move people out of the way? If you're not big, you've got to have a different plan in there to get guys out of the way to make Trey run the ball.
Usually I just focus on my technique, staying low, firing off the ball quick and hard, and just trying to do all the little things right, because that's what you got to do when you're not as big.
Do you play defense also?
A little bit, occasionally.
Well, I'll tell you what, you anchor that line down, take care of business, because I know you got some skill behind you. If you give them a little bit of light, it's off to the races.
Yep.
So keep doing a good job down there. Let's bring in the quarterback back here. Is this your second or third year starting? Third year. How different are you a player now than when you were a sophomore?
So much. I remember the first couple games my sophomore year, just going out there, and everything was so fast. And it took probably till my 4th game to actually start seeing stuff like I was seeing it in practice. And now just being able to jump back out there and have that feel just makes things a lot easier.
How much pressure does it take off a quarterback in the passing game, knowing that you've got a 230-pound running back that you can hand the ball to and he can deliver some punishment in the running game?
It feels good.
Does it makes the passing game better?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it makes, especially play action. We run the ball a majority of the time, so then we come at you with the play action. You really don't know it's a play action until the ball's over your head or it's being thrown.
Great. Well, congratulations. Good luck this year. Hope everybody stays healthy. Let's bring Coach in for another quick second here. And who do you open up with, and what are your thoughts on the season and your schedule?
Well, I'm a big believer in we want to be 1-0. And then if we win or lose that game, when game 2 comes along, we want to focus on being 1-0. I want to be 1-0 this week. So the keys to the season are they're all over the place. I preach to these guys, and they snicker a little bit that you can't control the outcome. you can mold the outcome. But bad bounces and great plays and whatever happen. And you just play, and the result kind of takes care of itself, and you just have to prepare. The first game, my players all tell me, is the key game to the season, and that's Garrettsville. And Garrettsville's a playoff team last year, playoff team the year before. Grand Valley, our alma mater, game 3, playoff team last year, playoff team the year before. Kirtland, pushing Mayfield around, playoff team for the past umpteen 9 years. Cauga Heights, playoff team, last umpteen 9 years. So we have a challenging schedule.
Yeah.
It's just we have to focus on ourselves and the game at hand, and we have to look at where the record is once we get into it. I mean, we can't be focusing on having a better record for the season. We have to work on getting ready for Garrettsville and then putting that behind us and getting ready for the next game and all that kind of thing.
Well, keep slugging away down there, guys. Like I said, I'm a Southern Ashtabula County guy, so I appreciate the CVC Valley, the old ESC. A lot of great memories playing the Cardinal Huskies. So pulling for you. Good luck to you this year, Coach Cardinal.
Okay, thanks
Trey,
a lot.
good seeing you again. You're going to graduate this year. I'm not covering you again next year, right? Okay, cool. Guys, Huskies, thanks for coming. I appreciate it much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
And next we have coming in the Cuyahoga Heights Redskins. This is Coach Al Martin's team. They were 12-2 last year and got down to the state championship game. Had some pretty big losses to graduation, Dylan Drummond and Lucas Durazio. But I tell you what, this is a proud program. They win. They put it week in and week out, no matter what the numbers are, no matter who it's against. They come out and they hit people. So we're excited to have everybody here. We'll get a quick picture over here with Mrs. Allen. And guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm John Camp from the News Herald.
John Schaefer, nice to see you.
Can you pass a microphone back to Coach Schaefer? We don't have Coach Al Martin with us tonight, which is okay because we've got some tradition-rich, battle-tested Redskins here tonight. How good was last year for this program? I mean, obviously every year is good when you're at Cuyahoga Heights. You guys play so well. But last year, to go where you did, what did that do for the infusing confidence in this program?
You know, it was a thrill to go back, and it was really special because a lot of the seniors the second time around were underclassmen and really learned a lot from the group the year before. And the momentum that the senior class that left in 16 really carried over with those guys. And I know this group is hoping to carry on some of that tradition as well.
You know, no one wants anything to end on their watch. So is the goal still play for a conference championship with the Kirtland Hornets and see how far you can get all the way, get down there to Canton?
Absolutely. But this group, they set their goals high. It's going to be a lot harder than some of the previous years. We've got a lot of inexperience. We've got some low numbers, but the work ethic's great, the passion's great. Great feeling of family on the team, good group of kids.
This is the loaded question of the century, but how does a coach replace a Dylan Drummond and a Lucas Durazio? I mean, that was when we covered one of the games, it was crazy because those guys did so much. It's got to motivate these guys to say, hey, I got this.
Well, they all grew up together as a family. Lucas and Dylan definitely are going to be missed, but there's some young kids coming up with some chips on their shoulder and hoping to make a name for themselves as well. So,
who do you guys open up with?
We're going to be opening up with Villa Angela St. Joe's this year.
Gotcha. Well, can you introduce your players for me and tell me what their names are and what positions they play?
This is Alex Studnyars. He's a senior. He plays split end and defensive back. We've got Jordan Kruchek over here. He's a defensive lineman, offensive lineman. And then we've got Sam Schaefer over here. He's a quarterback and an outside linebacker.
Great. Well, we'll start off with Alex here, split end and cornerback. Someone's got to replace Dylan Drummond on those go routes. Someone's got to go across the middle, catch the ball, and get to the house. Are you our guy this year?
I mean, I'm going to try as hard as I can, but I mean, you can never really replace anyone. You can just do your best to strive to do what they do.
Tell me about the chemistry that you and Mr. Schaefer have down there, what you've developed in practice and over the years playing this pitch and catch where you have that rapport down that he knows where you're going to be on these routes.
Oh, it helps a lot because, like, you just turn around and the ball's right there instead of having to wait for it or having to pick up the wrong spot, throwing it off my head, interception or anything. It helps a lot.
Someplace in there's got to be a running game because obviously he can't throw the ball all day and you can't run 9 routes all day or you'd be like sucking air. Who's running the ball this year and how important is it to have something in there to run the ball to that way keep these defenses honest?
We're going to have Braden running the ball. He runs hard. He's always going to be there to do what we need him to do. He's not going to ever step down from a challenge.
Well, let's bring in Jordan here, and the first thing that I noticed on his was wrestling. I'm a big wrestling writer, a big fan of that, so kudos, my man. That's helped so much with that pass blocking, that balance, that eye-hand, that hand-to-hand battle, so that's a good one. Offensive and defensive tackle, you got to play in these state tournament games. How much was that? How good is that to really get that program going and feel good that, yeah, we're Cuyahoga Heights, we're not big, but we're here in the show?
It's really fun because we don't always have the size on the line that most teams we play do, but we have the heart and we have the work ability to just go out there and perform like we do every year.
And so obviously technique's got to come into it. So how much attention do you pay in practice of that technique? Not necessarily running people over, but being in the right position, playing smart, playing with your head maybe more than your shoulders.
Technique and fundamentals is something we strive for in practice. Coach Huffman is our offensive line coach, and Coach Schaaf is our defensive line, and everything they preach is technique.
That's great. Well, hey, let's bring in Sam down here. Quarterback, outside linebacker. That's a really interesting combination because on one side of the ball, you don't want anybody touching you, and the other side of the ball, you want to hit anything that moves.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that dichotomy?
I mean, it's definitely a very different mindset going from quarterback to outside backer. But at the same time, when you're at a school like Cuyahoga Heights, and you just see the tradition that you've seen growing up the whole time, you know that real football is playing all three phases of the game: offensive, defensive, and special teams. So, I mean, I'm kind of been used to it to this point, whether going from middle school to JV and now obviously at the varsity level. So it's just something that the coaches kind of preach, and it's just a part of the culture of the school.
I've seen Cuyahoga Heights football. I've seen Cuyahoga Heights quarterback. You're not just a ball thrower around. You're putting your nose in there and running these zone reads. You're running the ball too. Are you one of those dual threat quarterbacks that can do both?
I mean, I like to pride myself as not just a quarterback, but as a football player as well. I really feel comfortable as far as running the ball as well because it is a triple option system, as you say. There's a lot of running that gets involved with it. So yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
Let's bring your coach in here for a second here. By the way, is this your son, I assume, down there? There you go. A coach's son's always good. The coach's son never stinks. I'm sure you're very proud of him, Coach. You know, it's a long season. There's 10 games. I know you've got, your opening game coming up week 2, week 3. A lot of people are looking at that showdown with Kirtland. It always comes down to that. How is that battle with Kirtland, and what are you expecting from that one again this year?
It's always a dogfight when you play a team like Kirtland. They've got a great coaching staff with Coach Laveride. Their kids are always well coached. Honestly, though, we're all about trying to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. We're trying to get better every day, and then we're hoping that by the time we see a Kirtland in week 6 that we're in a good position to put on a good show versus a quality program like that.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming. I guarantee you I'll see you at Kirtland week. That's one that I never miss, and I know it's going to be another great year because that's what Cuyahoga Heights does. Give Coach Martin my best and keep grinding, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.
Good seeing you guys. Good luck this year. Keep wrestling, my man. Good sport. Good sport. Good luck, Mr. Schaefer. All right, next we're bringing up the Wolverines of West Geauga. You talk about a program that gets their face in it. They play hard. They play gritty. They're not always the tallest kids, the heaviest kids, the fastest kids. One of the most ferocious teams you're going to play is the West Geauga Wolverines. You just expect that week in and week out. They got a new coach this year, Coach Adam Sopkovic. Thank you so much for being John from News Herald. Really good seeing you guys. Let's pass on a microphone here to Coach so we can chat with him a little bit. Year 1 in the program, but I know you're excited. We talked about it on the phone. How excited are you to take over this program and mold this ball of clay into what you want it to be?
Well, I got some really good kids over there. Been coaching for a long time, and I haven't seen guys that really step up and do the things that I'm asking them to do. It's hard for a new coach sometimes. These guys have welcomed me in as family, and we just been moving forward. So I'm excited.
I've been at the News Herald for 16 years, and one thing I just said on the air here that you can count on with West Geauga is tenacity. They're going to come out. A Wolverine's nasty, and they take that to heart. I don't know if they know what a Wolverine is, if they've ever seen a Wolverine. Is that what they are?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, our special teams, our defense, and our offense. I mean, we get after it. We get after it in practice. We get after it with each other. You see the helmets that we're using over there.
I like that.
Them up new, and Cody Jacobson decided to paint it with a couple different colors for him. But yeah, we get after it, man. And I'm like I said, I'm excited to see what these guys are about. I got some really good senior leadership.
just going forward, I can't wait to get to Charlotte. I mean, we got a scrimmage coming up, but we're hell bent on getting to Charlotte.
Systematically wise, when you come in, do you change a lot, or do you come in?
We changed. I mean, I let these guys answer that. Well, last year, did we change anything from what you guys doing offensively and defensively? Yes. So
There you go.
The whole thing changed.
Well, the follow-up on that question is, how has the learning curve been? Is that a concern?
No, because we've been at it since March 1st. I think I got hired in March. And the day I got there, I just started running. These guys started getting around me, get to installs. And, I mean, these guys have been putting in the work, not just our coaching staff, which I have a great coaching staff that's teaching, but these guys decided to, sacrifice a lot of their summer, sacrifice a lot of their spring to learn this. And it made me feel real good because, coming from the college systems, you have way more time to install.
Yeah.
So I kind of ingrained them right off the rip. This is how college does it. This is what I'm expecting from you. And then they expected me to teach it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was kind of back and forth, and it was reciprocated both ways.
Well, it sounds like it's off to a great start. Can you introduce to me, Coach, the players you brought with me and what positions they play?
I got Lou Lesnick. He was our first captain voted in. He plays defensive tackle and right guard. I got Justin Renner here. He plays a lot of positions. He's a cornerback and a receiver. I'll leave it at that. I got Cody Jacobson over here. He also a linebacker, a defensive end. He plays some fullback, some receiver. He's an all-the-way kind of guy. I got Matt Stewart here. He is my Mike linebacker. This is the guy that they have to get through on a Friday night, and I'm going to bet my money on this dude. Then I got Gino Finaro. I've not been around a group of guys and a kid like this in a long time. He does everything that is asked of him. He plays quarterback to strong safety. I mean, we got him moving all over the field, and these are the guys. This is the captain leadership. This is the senior leadership, with the exception of Lou. He's only a junior, but this is the leadership of what we're bringing to a game on Friday night. And I'm gonna put my hat on these guys and let them ride out because they put in the hard work, and I appreciate that.
Well, let's start off here with our man in the middle, that Mike linebacker. You can go back a long way, Ryan Cleve. I'm sure you've seen that name on the walls out there. You've had some really good linebackers, the Klein boys. West Juggas always had that dude in the middle that could levy some pain. What have you learned about, and what do you want to be? Do you want to be one of those guys with your picture on the wall, the All-Ohio guy, because you put people on their pants?
I mean, yeah, that's the ultimate goal, is to get my name out there and everything. I mean, I want people to remember our team, not only me, but like the team. Especially this year, we got like a lot of people down us and everything. It's our third coach in 4 years. Got a lot of like people against us, so we're trying to prove them all wrong. Not just me, but like the team as a whole.
How has the learning process been? Like you said, 3 coaches in 4 years, yet you guys are so upbeat. Is this one that you think that you can really hold on to and say, we got this?
Yeah, his coach's main focus this year is building a program, not only like a team. So from family day to like picnics, the 7-on-7s, we had our first annual 7-on-7 tournament. We had our first annual 7-on-7 tournament, and that was hosted at West G. We had about 25, 30 teams come out, so that was really cool. And we're looking to build a program, like I said, and so far it's going really well.
Let's pass on down your teammate there. What's your name and what's your position?
I'm Gino Finaro, and like Coach said, I can play wherever he wants me to, from quarterback to wherever.
You know a guy named Joey Fornaro?
Yeah, he's my brother.
There you go. I tell you what, hard-nosed kid. Yeah. How much did you learn from him? Because he was another kid just like you, do whatever the coach needed, either side of the ball, come out beat up, bruised.
Yeah.
What did you learn from your big brother?
I learned pretty much everything from him. My dad taught us a lot of stuff. We just take it, family, cousin, real good too. We just all do it together.
And I know Wolverines want to get their nose in the thick of this. Is this a tenacity-built team again?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Let's pass on down to your teammate. What's your name and what position do you play?
My name is Cody Jacobson, and I play tight end, wide receiver, linebacker, D-end, wherever you needed me to be.
So in other words, the list of positions that you don't play is shorter.
Probably guard and tackle, somewhere around there.
Which would you rather do?
You never know.
Which would you rather do? Do you want to be the guy hitting somebody, or do you want to be the guy getting hit because you got the ball in your hand?
Both. Both, to be honest. I want the ball in my hand. I want to score. Obviously, as you can tell, you can see my helmet. I've got some scratch marks. I like to hit.
You take a little pride in getting somebody else's paint on your helmet.
Absolutely.
There you go, brother. Keep it out there and hitting hard. Let's pass it on to your teammate back there. The only junior captain of the group, right? What's your name and your position?
My name's Lou Lesnick. I'm a right guard and a defensive tackle.
There you go. West Geauga, you got those quarterbacks, you got the running backs. You always play hard. Got to play well in the trenches. Tell me about this line that you're anchoring.
I mean, we're hard working. We've been in the weight room for a while. Like,
how important is it for this offensive line to move some people? Because without getting some blocks, these guys aren't going anywhere.
yeah, it's really important. I mean, we're not as big as everyone else, but we're definitely faster and gonna be hard to handle.
Week 1, Chardon Hilltoppers. Bad blood, always has been.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this one?
I mean, we're just gonna work our asses off, work our butts off, and
That's okay.
Hopefully come through.
Beep. Yeah, that's okay. Let's bring in your teammate here. What's your name, position?
I'm Justin Renner. I play corner and receiver.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
How big of a problem is that, especially on the defensive side of the ball? Because when you're over top of somebody else, they're probably not going to be as tall as you. Can you use that height and length to cause problems?
My height's going to be a problem, so is my speed.
Are you in the quarterback's ear to say, hey, just put it up and I'm going to get it?
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it's going to be this year.
What are we looking at on offense? Is it a passing offense? Is it a running offense? Blend? What do you want it to be?
We're going to do both. Honestly, we're just going to run the ball and pass the ball. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. So.
Great.
Keep little things under wraps. You know what I mean? We're the new guys coming out here, right? So we got an advantage. You know, they don't know what we're doing. We're going to take the CVC by storm, and I got the guys, and you know we're excited. We can't wait to get out on the field. You know what I mean? So as these guys are sitting here, a couple of them are a little nervous about talking about it because we got a scrimmage on Thursday, so if everybody wants to come out and get a taste of what we do, come out on Thursday. We're going to have Lutheran West out there and come out and see what we do.
At your place, what time? Maybe I'll come out.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock,
Yeah.
nice.
So.
That's game situation, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There we go.
Absolutely. So we'll see what that's all about, you know?
Great. Well, hey, West Geauga crew, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play. Like I said, whenever the Wolverines are in town, someone's getting knocked on their pants. Yes, sir. That's how it goes, right? Good luck, guys. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Thanks for coming in. And now we have coming in the Geneva Eagles. That used to be my stomping grounds. I lived in Geneva for a while. Coach Sorber, I've known him for a long, long time. It's good seeing you guys. This is a lot of the guys I took pictures of last year. Did you graduate anybody last year?
We graduated a couple.
Not many. Geez, I think you have a redshirt program going on out there in Geneva.
I hope so.
It's an exciting time out there in Geneva. You know, first of all, I know that there's been times that you thought you were going to fly under the radar. I'm telling you what, Chip, this is not one of those years. You talk to the people around here, the first thing out of Coach Rosati's mouth was Geneva is the team that we are the most weary of in the CVC. Words out on the Geneva Eagles. Why?
Well, I think we've established a hard-nosed style of football. I think we've been spending the last 2 years becoming a competitive football team that we're going to be in games and we're going to be in close games. And I appreciate people saying good things about us, but frankly, until we can get over the top and start winning some of these close games, we'll just be spinning our wheels doing the same thing. So, yeah, we have some opportunities in front of us. We feel a lot better than we were a year ago at this time. We're experienced. We have some decent chemistry, but we're still got to find our identity and who we are still.
Well, you talk about identity. I know what you want it to be. This is always a team that runs the ball well. You've got that wing T background, ground and pound. You can throw the ball a little bit out of that. The one strange thing about this team is that you've got a ton of guys back, and you're still young. You are so junior heavy. I mean, last year you had to check birth certificates. You were so young last year. Experienced and juniors. What do you got here?
Well, today I have my two senior leaders with me. I have Kyle Stark, our quarterback. He's returning. He's a 900-plus yard rusher, 15 touchdowns. And Jason Corlew, first-team All-CVC, first-team All-County linebacker in Ashtabula County. And so he comes back, and these two will be two of our captains. And then back here, number 5 is Blake Pete. He's also he's lettered his freshman and his sophomore year. He's going to be a junior. And then junior lineman Sam Davis, who's been on a lot of combine radars, and there's some schools looking at him. So A lot of these guys are returning lettermen. They're seasoned veterans. All of them started a year ago. And like you said, being young with sophomores is scary. Being young with juniors is a pretty good situation to be in. We have a relatively small senior class, but they're going to mix in just well. And we're hoping to turn a lot of close games into wins this year for these guys.
Well, let's bring in Kyle here. You're the leader of this offense. You're the quarterback. You're the guy where it all starts with. How good was last year for you as far as leading this team? And has the game slowed down now, for you?
Yeah, definitely. Just getting used to playing quarterback. I didn't play quarterback my whole football career, so freshman year I started, and then just getting in with the plays and everything, it feels more like fluid, like better, so.
And you don't have to do it all by yourself. I know that Corlew was here last year. Blake was here last year. Justin Way, if I'm not mistaken, was here last year. So the skill that's all lined up behind you in this three-back offense is experienced. Does that make it move a little bit more smooth offensively because everybody knows there's no fumbling around?
Yeah, we're definitely together and we're moving the ball. We definitely moved the ball pretty well with the guys we got. So I think we're going to hopefully close the gap between the games that we lost last year.
Let's bring in Mr. Corlew. Please tell me that your dad's not Jay.
He is.
I got it. This is an old age moment for me. I remember Jay when we were in high school, and now his son is sitting at this table with me. First of all, being a coach's son, your dad's on this staff and everything. What's it like playing for Dad?
It's pretty tough. I mean, he always is pushing me and expects a lot out of me a lot, but it helps me because I have someone when I'm home and when I do stuff wrong, I know right away he'll help me and point stuff out and I get the extra help that I need.
But your Uncle Mike and Pat, no one's dragged you out to the wrestling mat yet?
No, I did that when I was younger, but yeah.
Playing hockey?
Play hockey.
Well, he'll be the toughest hockey because the McKeon boys out at Ledgemont used to rack up state championships like they were Skittles. So that's good. Tell me about your position.
Yeah, I play fullback and inside linebacker, and I like playing both of them. I like defense a lot because I feel like I just do my job on both of them. I try to do my best at both.
There you go. You got to anchor down that middle. Let's bring in Blake back here. I was looking at the preview sheets, and I think the only thing he doesn't do is wrap ankles and drive the bus. My goodness. Punt, kick. Do you return kicks too?
Yeah.
So he punts, kicks, return kicks, plays running back, plays linebacker. Is that right?
No, safety.
Safety. What's the quietest time of the night for you? Pre-game warm-ups?
Yeah, pretty much.
Holy smokes. What do you how do you keep fresh when you're playing that many positions for a Division III team, Coach? Youth Division III? How do you keep fresh on a Division III schedule like this?
Pedialyte, man.
There you go.
Always drinking Pedialyte. Got to stay hydrated, stretch a lot. Our trainer is really good, so she helps me stretch a lot before games and stuff. If I cramp up, she'll get me right back in the game.
I know that they always said, when you play basketball, where you rest is if you're going to take a rest, take a break on offense. Never take a break on defense. Yeah. What are your thoughts? If you're ever going to take a blow, where do you do that?
Yeah, never on defense.
Yeah.
Especially being the safety, I'm always talking. I got to let my guys up front know what's going on. Coverage. So if a coverage is blowing, that's on me. I got to let them know.
So many close games. Okay, so many close games last year. What do you need to do to win them this year?
Can't make stupid turnovers on offense. Just got to execute on defense better. Our defense is looking really good this year, so I'm excited.
Let's bring in the big man here, 6'4", 250, anchors both sides of the line. What do you need to do on this line this year?
I think we just need to maintain blocks. We have a young O-lineman, so we just got to come in, we're respecting a lot of our O-linemen this year, so he's got to open holes.
Well, guys, I hate to eat and run on you, but I was a little verbose there. I got too tied up talking about the McKeon family down there. But thank you so much for coming in. Good luck. A lot of good things coming this year for the Geneva Eagles. Guys, thanks for coming in. And next coming in, we have the Fairport Skippers. I got to tell you what, a couple years ago, they made a hire. They brought in a young man named Cameron Ruff. I covered him when he was at Riverside. Tenacious, hard-hitting defender. And when they brought in Cameron Ruff, the first thing I did is I called the athletic director, and I told him, Mike Mockner, I said, that is the best hire you could make. Cameron Ruff is what you want coaching a football team. He's hard-nosed. He's tough. I know that players probably think that, coach is he's just saying it, but no. Cameron Ruff was a bad man on the football field, and if he can convey half of his energy to his players, they're going to be okay. Cameron, welcome back. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. I feel so old because it doesn't seem like yesterday that I was covering you when you were playing over at Riverside. And here you are running the Skippers. You inherited a really, really young team. Now that you've got some time with them, are things just that much different now because you have had time with them and they know now. You're not teaching anymore. You're just smoothing things over.
Yeah, it's excellent. The kids, what we like best is we've had them in the weight room for a long time. And is your mic on? I don't know.
There we go.
Sorry, I'll start over. We have them in the weight room, so things are much different. And what's awesome is that we don't even have to. They recognize when they make a mistake, and they do this thing that's called +2. And so if a kid jumps off sides or misses a block or fumbles or drops a pass, what it might be, they do 2 push-ups on their own. And we rarely ever have to remind them to do it. So a kid will drop a pass in practice, they'll do +2. You know, and it's learning how to hold yourself accountable and recognizing, hey, I made an error, do a quick 2 push-ups, get back up, and let's do it again. And the weight room's been excellent. Our kids have made significant gains, and it's exciting to see so much muscle on our kids. And to put it to use, we had a great scrimmage, played extraordinarily physical, and we could not do that last year. So it's good to see the muscle in action. It's paying off.
That is great to hear. Tell me who you brought with you tonight, Coach.
Right here, number 12 is Tim Webster. Next to him,
what position does Tim play?
Tim is a wide receiver and defensive back.
Okay.
Number 1 is Tobin Schaefer. He's a fullback and linebacker. Number 4 is Rayshawn Alston. He's a tailback, a little bit receiver, and defensive back. And Evan Bish, number 2, is a fullback and outside linebacker.
Well, it's a good group of guys there. You know, I've seen a lot of these guys over there. I actually taught a class with this young man this year, so I know Mr. Alston quite well. Let's bring your young man in here. What's your name and your position, sir? Push the button up. Yep. Oh.
Tim Webster, and I'm a wide receiver.
So, in other words, every day you walk by the hall, you see Sammy Schuster in there, say, hey, I'm open.
That's my guy.
There you go. There you go. Tell me about the relationship you have on the field with him, where he knows the routes, he's experienced, you're experienced. What has that chemistry together helped you to be?
Well, we're really good friends off the field, so that helps. And we have a good relationship on the field too. And he knows my routes, he knows my speed, and we've kind of synced in together. So it's a good relationship.
Well, that fence around Greg Field's not real tall. I mean, you guys can do a little scaling and get in there and do a little throwing around, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Let's bring in Tobin down here. Seems like I've been typing your name forever, too. Are you a junior or senior? Good, because I was really going to start feeling old if you were an underclassman. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, push the button up there, Tobin.
Yeah.
I've been covering you for a number of years. What positions are you playing this year?
So this year I'm playing fullback and middle linebacker.
I think you started off as a tight end or an offensive lineman, didn't you?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
How fun is it now to say, hey, on Friday night, Tobin gets to carry the rock?
Hey, I just like the fact that you're basically a lineman with more speed to go hit someone.
There you go. Okay, do you want to run around? You get the ball on a dive. You want to run around someone, or you're just going to find the littlest guy and run him over?
I'm just going to find the nearest guy and just try to run him over.
Tell me about that line that's in front of you.
Oh, so we have they're a more smaller line than we had last year, but they're a lot stronger and definitely a lot quicker. So
a lot of skill this year. I mean, obviously you're going to be on the receiver, Mr. Alston back here, and Sammy's back at quarterback. Is this a team that's going to put some points on the board?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's great. Let's pass it on. Who we got back here? What's your name and position, sir?
My name is Evan Bish. I'm a fullback and an outside linebacker.
Fullback, outside linebacker. You're going to run a little power game here with you two?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I already did that Palmy tuning.
There you go. There you go. What's the most important thing this team needs to do to be successful this year?
You said what?
The most important thing that you guys need to do to be successful.
Stick as a team. We don't have that many guys, and as long as we can just stay in there and be tough and be physical, drive the ball every play, that's all we need.
Let's bring in Hollywood over here. I've known him for a little bit. Taught a journalism class this year. How you doing, my man? Good seeing you again.
Nice seeing you.
Did you get that story done about your family history?
Yes, I did.
There you go, man. There you go. One of the most famous names in Painesville history, the Alstons. Everybody who was an athlete from Harvey was an Alston, and they were all good, so you knew that he was going to be good. What positions you playing this year, bud?
Running back, a little bit of wide receiver, a little bit of QB, and DB.
I know you want the ball in your hands.
Yes, I do.
Offense and defense. How many touchdowns you got? You got it circled. I know it.
Right now, I have that 20 in my head. This year I want the 20. If not, I'm going to try to double it. I'm thinking about it. I'm going above my goal this year.
Which one do you take more pride in, that offense or defense?
I'm gonna say defense, because without defense, there is no offense.
There you go. Yeah, if you can't stop anybody, you're losing in the scoreboard. Let's bring Coach Ruff back in here for a little bit. And Coach, who do you open up with, and what's the importance of a good start?
We open up with Newberry. One thing we really need to try to do is stay healthy. You know, we only have 20 players, which we fully expected, but it's 20 every day. So we never have to wonder where some kid's at. We got the same 20 there every day. And we got to play as a team. You know, we blocked really, really well, and we got to secure the football. That's probably the number one thing we got to do well, is hold on to the football and prevent any turnovers.
Great. Well, hey, I'm glad the port was in the house. Good stuff, guys. I'll see you all again soon. Take care of business this year, okay?
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, Ken. Good to see you. Okay, next we're bringing, I don't have my list here. Who's coming in next? Richmond Heights. Good seeing you, gentlemen. How's everything going over your way? Very good. Thanks very much. Coach, good seeing you.
All right, nice to see you.
Well, you guys must just got right out of practice and scooted right over here. When you pick up your microphones, push the button up and hold it close to your mouth. We'll chat a little bit about the Spartans now. Coach, tell me about, was this your
second year?
Second year. I was going to say
year.
3. So year 2 in the program. Year 1's always the year where it's a feeling out process. You're putting in your system. You're seeing the hand that you're dealt. Maybe some growing pains. How nice is year 2, because you do have continuity now. These guys know what to expect. The system doesn't change a lot. Year 2, the difference is what?
Year 2, we got players that come out and they're expecting to win now. So they're coming to practice. They're hustling. They're picking each other up. Last year we didn't have a lot of that until the end. This year they started off believing and knowing what they had to do. The weight room was that was a big thing in the off season. So we had guys committed to the weight room, which the year before was kind of, you know, we had a couple guys in and out, but it wasn't like we had this year.
And you mentioned towards the end of last year. Did this really click towards the end of last year? Did this season start maybe at the end of last year when things started to click?
Near the middle of last year, that's when guys started seeing that it could work.
Yeah.
They were in a lot of games, and they saw we can do this. You know, so last year was like a learning lesson. We had 5 seniors last year, so the guys this year came and they said we want to be better, and they worked harder in the off season than they did last year.
You said 5 seniors last year. How many bodies do you have this year, and how many seniors?
We're about maybe about 10 seniors, 12 seniors. We're about close to 40.
Good.
Numbers wise.
Hey, it's on the upswing. That's good to hear, Coach.
Yes,
can you tell me who you brought with you tonight and what position they play?
Next to me, I have John McWilliams. He's a wide receiver. Justin Jenkins, a linebacker and running back. Rico McPherson is another wide receiver and a shutdown corner. And Brian Davis is outside linebacker and a running back.
Well, let's chat with you first. Again, your name and position?
My name is Jonathan McWilliams, and I'm a wide receiver and a defensive back.
Jonathan McWilliams. How tall are you, Jonathan?
About 6'1".
6'1". Obviously, if you're going to be 6'1" playing in the CVC Valley, you're going to have some matchup in your favor. Are you going to be in the quarterback's ear? Say, hey, throw it up. I'm going to go get it. Tell me about the quarterback you got.
Our quarterback, arguably, probably one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, his arm is just crazy, and his accuracy is even better. So, really, that's probably going to be one of our most dangerous.
What are you going to have more of this year, touchdown catches or picks?
I plan to have both.
Well, I tell you what, a 6'1" corner is going to cause problems for people. You're going to be right in people's faces. So keep working out there. Let's bring you your buddy. What's your name, position?
My name is Justin Jenkins. I'm a running back and linebacker.
Running back, linebacker. Height and weight?
I'm about 5'10", 197.
197. You're a solid 197. What do you take more pride in, running that ball and running people over, or finding the guy with the ball and running him over?
Probably finding the guy with the ball and running him over.
Tell me about this defense. I know there's some really good teams in this league. Obviously, you're playing against a Kirtland that was in the state championships. You're playing against a Cuyahoga Heights, the same thing. Tell me about what defenses going to have to come through for you guys this year.
Our defense is shut down way better than last year. We got a lot of good players, a lot of good hearts.
and how much responsibility do you put on your shoulders as a linebacker, an experienced guy in the middle, to make sure that you take care of it and maybe even make the calls?
I put a lot on my shoulders, but I could always go to my teammates and kind of like distribute the responsibilities.
Let's bring in your young man. What's your name and position back here, sir?
My name is Brian Davis, running back and outside linebacker.
So if he's the bully running back that he just runs people over, are you the guy that runs around him?
Pretty much.
There you
Yes,
go.
sir.
Obviously, we talked about a good young quarterback, 2 good running backs. What does this offense hang its hat on? What do you think this offense needs to do to be successful? Pass, run, both, what?
I'm pretty sure it's running. Because we dominate at running. Our line is, they just dominate. We dominate because we're going to run it up their throats every time until they stop us. But they're not going to stop us because we're too dominant.
How about your blocking back in front of you? How's he doing?
Very good. Excellent.
Very good.
Phenomenal.
You taking care of those big offensive linemen? You bring them donuts on Sunday morning?
I can, for sure.
There you go. They will love you. They will block for you 24/7. If you feed them, they will come.
Yeah.
Let's bring in your friend here. What's your name and position? Shutdown corner. I like that. It's not just a corner. We're going to shut them down. What makes a shutdown corner? What are you looking at out there that you're saying I'm shutting people down?
Everything. Picks, a lot of tackles, all that.
Playing a little receiver too, but this team wants to run the ball. If this team runs the ball successfully, you guys are going to be open on the passing game, aren't you? Because everybody's going to be biting on the run.
Most doubt.
Tell me about your quarterback.
Excellent quarterback. Amazing. He got a nice arm on him. Not even a nice, an amazing arm.
What's different this year than the last year Richmond Heights team? How much has continuity helped?
Well, this team this year, we going all for it. This year we going all for it. Last year we was going towards it, but like I feel like it wasn't all the way there, like how this team this year is.
And Coach, we bring you for one more quick one here. Who do you open up with, and how excited are you to get this going?
We opened the season up with Richmond, and last year, like I said, coming in at the beginning of the year, we had a team that wasn't in belief yet. This year, we're expecting to take that win. We dominated the game last year with Richmond, but on the scoreboard side, you didn't see that. This year, we plan to make it be seen.
Well, Coach, it's always good seeing you guys. Congratulations. Year 2 is going to be the year. I'm telling you what, Spartans are coming this year. Good luck. Thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate you all being here. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Next one coming up here, we got the Kirtland Hornets. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how crazy it is over in Kirtland. Coach Tiger Laverty could lose 127 straight games and he would have a 500 career record. His career record is 144-17. That is crazy. Most of his losses have come in the postseason. So this is the premier program right now in Northeastern Ohio, what Tiger Laverty has going. Coach Laverty, good seeing you. Thanks for coming tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us, John.
This is going to be a fun year. I mean, a team ended last year in the state final, but I don't think I've seen a team this driven before. They've got a number 34-3 in this locker room, in this weight room. How motivated is this team after getting a running clock put on them last year in the state final?
Well, obviously they're very motivated. They've, went above and beyond in the off season. And it's just not this past off season. These guys have been getting after it for 3 or 4 years, and hopefully the work pays off this year.
Experience. The offensive line is big. You got 2 1,500-yard runners back. You've got a lot back on that back 7 on defense. What do you need? A long snapper?
We do. We're trying to develop a long snapper right now. We got them working every day.
Yeah,
but
because
you try to have no weaknesses. We got to get better against the pass and better against the run, and we got to throw the ball a little bit better. We got to get better in our running game and special teams. Obviously, we're going to have a new kicker and a new punter. We got pieces in place, but we have a long way to go.
The biggest line, 266 pounds you average across the front line. The 2 big guys are here. Jack Bailey, 6'3", 305. Khaled Lopsy, 6'6", 315. I mean, what is it? They blot out the sun when they come out to practice. What's it like having some bookends like this?
You know what? They're great kids and they're great football players. But, they come every day and they're great leaders and they work hard and they lead everybody in the drills. And that's all we want. We want these guys to teach the younger kids, what it takes and how hard they got to work. And these guys know they got to go every day and make themselves uncomfortable and try to get a little bit better every day.
Let's bring in Jack Bailey here. He's sitting next to you. The strongest Kirtland Hornet probably in history. Tell me, you're a member of not only the 900 club, you're about a member of the 1100 club. Tell me what do you lift in your 3 weights?
My bench was 395, my squat was 570, and my clean was 345.
And you're going on to Kent State.
Kent State, yeah.
Play football. How exciting is that, knowing that before the season even starts, you know where you're playing football for free for the next 4 years?
I'm pumped because it just takes all the stress away. You know, I was waiting to get an offer for a while, and then I finally got one. I'm just glad I committed before. I'm excited to be a part of what they're doing down there. Great coaches.
One of the worst things that happened to you last season, your team played in a state championship game, and you gutted it out, but you were nowhere near even 50% with that shoulder. Are you healthy this year, and how much do you want to get back there and be healthy for a state final?
I'm healthy right now, and that's all I want right now is just to stay healthy through the whole year and, not get injured.
Pass it on to your big big offensive tackle. Introduce yourself and your name and position.
Caudal Opsy. I'm the right tackle.
6'6", 315. Good Lord. So does this mean that you guys are just going to throw the ball all around this year because you're so small on the front line?
Yep.
Colin, tell me about how much fun it is to be an offensive lineman at Kirtland when you have 2 1,500-yard running backs behind you.
It's really fun because sometimes when we make mistakes, they cover for us and they make a play. But we got 2 great O-line and D-line coaches that help us out, and it's really fun working with them, and yeah.
I tell you what, 2 big linemen here. Let's pass it on back to Mr. All-Ohio. I've been covering this kid for so long, 4 years, multiple sports. Joey Torok. I think you got to be close to 3,000 yards rushing heading into your senior year. Hard to believe you're a senior, but what do you want out of this senior year?
Honestly, I just want to have a lot of fun, and then get a state championship. That's obviously the end goal. I don't really care about anything like 3,000 yards or whatever it is. I don't really care. I just want to get a state championship.
How much do those numbers, 34-3, burn into your stomach, knowing that someone put a running clock on Kirtland last year?
It burns a lot. I remember just looking up at the scoreboard and seeing the clock running. I don't remember who I looked at, but I looked at somebody to my left. I'm like, is that clock running? It was just such a surprise. It's never happened to us before. So, it's been a real motivator all offseason.
You also play defense. You run the ball. One guy we haven't talked about is your new quarterback. Tell me a little bit about Tommy Powers. I've seen him in scrimmages, and he seems like he's adding a passing threat that you guys might not have had before.
Yeah, Tommy's great. He's a real athletic kid. He's a really good quarterback. We went to 7-on-7s. We passed the ball, obviously, and just did real well. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see how we can add a little bit more passing to our offense.
Let's bring in Jake Nybecker here. Ran for 1,500 yards, 20 touchdowns last year. Really just burst onto the scene. Did you blow your cover? Maybe last year they might not. Jake Nybecker. Who's Jake Nybecker? People know now. You're an All-Ohioan now.
Yeah.
Blow your cover?
I don't think so. It was just a lot of hard work, and everyone else on my team, they put in a lot of hard work that made it a lot easier on me and the big guys up front.
Speaking of those guys up front, not only do we have these 2 guys here, but Mike Alfieri, he's a veteran guy. We've got Folco. He was a starter last year. Man, how good is it possible to have a better line than what you guys have right now?
I'm not really sure. I've never played with a better one, and even in practice in the scrimmage, it's easy to tell that there's always big holes, and it's just they just flatten people every play, and it's fun.
Who buys a Saturday morning donuts to take care of your boys?
Coach Morrison.
There you go. Well, guys, thanks so much for being here tonight. It's always a pleasure seeing the Hornets. Good luck to you this year, Tiger. Jake, thanks so much for being here, guys. Good seeing you all. Joey, Khalid, I'll get that H out of there soon. All right, next we have the Orange Lions coming into the house. Very, very good football team. They finished second last year in the CVC Chagrin. They were 6-1. Their only loss was to Perry. So this is a very formidable team. I tell you what, they're going to be right there in the league again. Coach Adam Beckelman has done a great job. They were 8-3 last year, got to the playoffs. Coach, bring you guys all in. When you come in, make sure you're inside the table, because if you're outside the table, then you're off the screen. Yes. Coach, good seeing you.
How you doing?
Real good. Nice seeing you. Exciting year, 8-3 playoff football last year at Orange. How good is that for a program when you can get to the postseason so the younger kids say, hey, this can happen?
Well, it was very exciting. So we'll start there. And the senior class from last year really led the way, and it gave these guys a great example to follow. And they have picked up after that. Definitely the work ethic and the standard that things need to be done, that mark has been left. Absolutely.
And, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, there's a lot of games get played first, but you've got a team in your division, the Perry Pirates, who 25-2 the last 2 years. Is that the barometer? Is that the one that you kind of circle say, hey, so if we're looking for greatness, let's measure it against the Perry Pirates?
Yeah, I mean, we try to measure it against ourselves too, though. I mean, we want to improve every day, and we have to focus a lot on ourselves. But we also do understand that the road to a championship in the CVCA definitely goes through Perry. There's no doubt about it. Very good the last 2 years, and should be just as good or better this year. So very close last year. I think it was a 6-point game or so. If we can play that well again, we think we can, give them a fight.
Keep going for a quick second. Jake, tell Geneva to stay. Sorry about that. I need to talk to them before they take off. I apologize for that, Coach. That was unprofessional of me. Tell me who you brought with you here tonight.
This is our quarterback, Sean Borgman. Do you want me to go on the line?
Yes,
okay,
please.
Sean Borgman. This is a receiver, safety, Armin Fry. This is one of our offensive linemen and defensive lineman, Babatunde Matoni. This is our tight end and defensive lineman, Jaden Hill. And this is another defensive lineman, Shelton Smith.
Let's pass on to your quarterback here right now. The first thing I look at, Sean, obviously you had a big year. You've been starting for a while. But that 4.5 GPA, my goodness. Coach, what's it like to have a genius at quarterback? You only tell him once, right?
I don't know if he's a genius, but I got to admit, I'm very proud of that. And he is too. He works extremely hard in the classroom. All AP and honors classes. It's awesome. And while navigating directions sometimes is a problem when driving, he does a wonderful job in the classroom and on the football field.
Sean, let's bring you in here. How much pride do you take in leading this offense? Because the book on you guys this year is you guys can put a lot of points on the board in a hurry. You can run the ball, but a lot of it is just what they're saying about how you can do throwing the ball. What type of responsibility are you putting on your shoulders this year?
Honestly, I just follow the system that Coach Beckman was putting in place. I have a lot of faith in it. I feel like he knows the best way around our offense, and I just try to execute it to the best of my ability, and that's what we did last year, and that's what we'll do again.
A quarterback with playoff experience is invaluable. What did you take out of that now that you can pass on to your teammates?
Just a lot of experience. I feel like experience is a huge thing in high school football. The more experience you get, the more comfortable you are playing the game, and the better you could execute. So that game, I'm definitely looking to get another one of those, and I feel like we'll be better for it.
Can you pass on your teammate down there? What's your name and your position?
Armin Fry. I'm wide receiver and safety.
How tall are you, Armin?
I'm 6'2".
6'2". So in other words, you come back to the huddle and telling Sean, hey, throw it up. I got this, right?
Right.
There you go. How many catches did you have last year, and do you think that this year maybe a little bit more of a target on you?
Yeah, I didn't start on varsity last year, wide receiver, so I had one catch the whole season.
Well, that's got to be.
Armin's been a starter in our secondary the last 2 years,
okay.
So he's making the transition to both sides this year.
How much are you looking forward to that? You've been starting at defense. Now they want to get you the ball on offense. Is it going to be fun to be that two-way player?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think I'm going to be well-conditioned when the season starts, and I'm happy to be making a difference on both sides of the ball.
That's great. Let's bring in your big offensive lineman back there. What's your name, young man?
My name is Babatunde Matoni.
Yeah, I'm going to take your word for it. I know I can't say that. Offense and defense?
Yes, sir.
Bobby, offense and defense. With the offensive weaponry that you have on this team, there's got to be some responsibility on your shoulders to protect that quarterback and get that running back some time to run the ball.
Yes, sir. Honestly, on our offense, it's all really just about communication and playing well together, just trying to execute our jobs, help each other out, being able to see everything on the line. Just kind of following in the footsteps of everything Beckman's laid out for us.
As good as going to the playoffs was, you play a playoff game and you lose, is that just motivation? Hey, let's get our butts back in the weight room and get stronger, because that's often the difference in those playoff games.
Honestly, I think it is. I think for us, we got there, and just the way we played, it just gave us insight to where we are, where we need to go forwards, and just gave us a taste of what we really wanted, and lets us see a bigger picture and lets us know where we need to go next.
Very good. Let's pass on to your teammate here. What's your name and your position, sir?
My name is Jaden Hill. I play tight end, and I also play DN.
Tight end, defensive end. So you're in charge of securing the corner and blowing up the corner. Tell me, first of all, let's talk about defense. You got to get upfield. You got to keep that contained, especially with these teams that are athletic in this conference.
Yeah.
Tell me about your responsibilities that you need to do on this defense to lead this defense.
Last year I played King, and it was mainly for the tight end. I'm going to the tight end side. I was block the edge. I'm not that quick. I'm not that fast. But if I do my job, mainly I could do anything I put my mind to. And yeah, a lot of these people that we're playing are athletic, but like I'm gonna be well trained and I'm gonna be well fit. So I'm gonna run to the ball every time.
Who do you guys open up with? Tell me about that game.
We open up to John Hay, and yeah, they're very athletic, very fast. They run the ball a lot. They throw the ball. I'm just looking forward to the game.
Sounds great. Let's bring your young man in here. What's your name? What position?
I'm Shelton Smith, and I play D-end and offensive tackle.
Offensive tackle. What's your height and weight?
I am 6 foot, 200 pounds.
6 foot, 200 pounds. So you're obviously not the big guy that's going to lower your shoulder and bowl someone over. Offensive tackle, what do you do if you're a little bit undersized to get your job done?
It's all about the technique, completely technique. If you're not lower than the man in front of you and you're not driving your feet, you're not going to be able to move him. Even if he is smaller than you, if he's lower and better than you, just skill-wise, you're never going to be able to get past him.
So you got to get those legs in shape. You got to get your butt down and get those legs off the ground. How much is conditioning important to a smaller offensive lineman?
It's insanely important. If you're not conditioned and you can't keep up with the game, you're not going to be able to make it through.
Well, let's bring Coach back in here. Thanks, guys, for coming in here. That first run, right off the bat, you want to set the tone. If you guys are getting back to the playoffs, you got to take care of business before you get to the CVC.
Right.
Who else you play in that preseason schedule?
You mean early
yeah,
season?
Yeah, early season, yeah.
So we'll open up with John Hay, then we go to Streetsboro, who's a new opponent, and St. Thomas Aquinas, another new opponent on our schedule. So it's going to be a little bit of unknown waters and a little bit of a challenge, and I like that. I like not being comfortable. We've done a lot in our whole off season about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. So getting our kids in those difficult situations, and I'm pretty positive that we'll respond to one of those challenges.
Well, I'm glad you guys came up tonight. Thank you so much. Good luck to Orange. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys playing in that CVC championship game. A lot of good things I'm hearing about you guys. I'm glad to meet you all. Good luck. Take care of business. I'll see you guys soon, okay? The Orange Lions taking off right now. We're bringing in next to Chagrin Falls Tigers, Coach Imerino, the Dean of Northeastern Ohio coaches. He's been around for a long time, has some great teams, passed some great players on. John Hopkins, my goodness, he's passed so many good players on. His sons went on to both play at Denison. Coach Imerino runs an amazing program down there at Chagrin Falls. We're so happy to have him in here tonight. Coach I, great seeing you again, my friend.
Good to see you again, John.
Gosh, it doesn't seem like that long ago we're sitting at a table talking, and you had one boy that was a sophomore and one boy that was a freshman, and now you've got college graduates.
It's amazing. It's amazing how fast it goes, and great memories, though. A lot of good fun, and great experience for my whole family to be a part of it. We just love it.
24 years, 171 wins. When you look at those numbers, do you ever think back, wow, did that go fast?
You know, sometimes you do. You know, when you reflect, something will bring it back. You know, I was just talking with Coach Rosati, and we were talking about our days when he was at West Geauga and some of the games that, you know, that we had, some of the overtime games. You know, in our locker room, we have a lot of kind of mementos on the wall of past teams and slogans from past teams and plaques for their successes and stuff. So, yeah, you do. You go back and you remember some things, and it gives you a great deal of pride to be a part of it. And that's what I think is all of the kids who have played football at Chagrin, you know, just to know we've all been a part of that and the things that have been going on, you know, since we started.
You know, 5-5, 5-2 last year, which means that non-conference slate was a little bit of a bear. Who do you have in your non-conference slate this year, and how important is it to get off to a start?
I thought I saw somewhere that 3 of our first 4 teams on our schedule were ranked in the top 10 preseason in the state.
Oh, lucky
so,
you.
We're not ducking anybody. You know, it is. I think what it does is it fine-tunes your off-season program and your summer work, because you know that you don't get any gimmies right off the bat. You know, we start off with Kirtland, which is one of the best programs in the state of Ohio, one of the small school programs, but one of the best in Ohio. And we play a very good Kenston team, and we have a new team on our schedule, Streetsboro, but traditionally a good coach in Pete Thompson, and traditionally, a school that's had outstanding success in track and field, and a lot of that will correlate over to football. And then as we get into the league, we start out with the league champs in Perry. So tall order for us, obviously, but I think our guys, what we really will do is chop it down, take it one game at a time, those types of things, but really focus on what we're doing to get better and to prepare us. And I think a testament to our team last year is there at one point in time we were 1-5, and I think a lot of teams at 1-5, some of the players could be looking towards basketball and wrestling or whatever. Not our team. Those guys came to work every week. We ended up winning the last 4, finished 5-2 in a very, very good conference. We'd like to think that those types of things are possible again for us this year.
Well, Coach, tell us who all you brought with you tonight.
To my right, I have Mick Lawrence. Mick is a running back and a defensive back for us. He'll be a third-year starter for us. Mick has accumulated over 1,500 yards of total offense each of his last 2 seasons. Been a huge part of what we have been doing. And Mick is the third of 2 older brothers who also played football for me, so I'm very, very familiar with the family. To his right is Sean Cusack. Sean is our senior quarterback, and once again, a guy who I think really has done an outstanding job this past offseason in dedicating himself to getting bigger, faster, stronger. He's been a great leader for our team, and that's not easy to do when you have not played significant varsity snaps yet, but yet I think the team looks at him as a leader. Behind me, I have 2 of our offensive and defensive linemen, Ralph Baroni and Peyton Lewis, and both of those guys, I brought them because of their hard work in the offseason, their leadership. I truly believe that they are the senior leaders of our offense and defensive line, and we have a great core here of very hard-working, very dedicated players, and that's why I wanted them to be here tonight to represent Chagrin Falls.
Great. Let's talk to Mick here. I've been typing your name for so long. I mean, you scored so many touchdowns. Your career numbers have got to be off the charts. In what ways are they going to get you the ball this year? I know that the list is probably short of how they're not going to get you the ball, but what are you going to do on this offense?
I'll be running outside, inside, catching passes, possibly throwing passes. I don't know yet, but I'm do as much as I can. Kick returns, punt returns.
So these 2 guys behind you, your best friends, because they're protecting you every Friday night?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where do you take them to dinner?
Usually Buffalo Wild Wings, but it depends on the night.
Can I be a lineman? Mick, let's pass it on to your new quarterback down there. Like Coach said, you weren't the starter last year. Santich. What did you learn from Christoph last year? As he was such a good leader, big, strong young man like you are. What did you learn? Are you the same type of quarterback as Christoph?
Yeah, to some extent. I think he was definitely a much better runner. But at the same time, I think I might make up for that in my passing ability. And I think definitely that just throughout drills and practice more so than games, being able to interact with Christoph and seeing exactly kind of the way he carried himself and the way he went through a drill, that maybe sometimes when I'm the front of the line and I'm thinking, all right, I got to make sure I'm doing this. I can't be slacking. I got to be going 100% all the time.
So if you're back there, pressure's on, defensive collapsing, you're going to look for Mick?
Of course.
Smart man. That's a smart man down there. Let's bring in the guys in the trenches, the Hogs. What's your name and position?
I'm Peyton Lewis, and I play center.
It all starts with you, brother. I tell you what, it doesn't matter what goes on. It doesn't matter how good Mick is. It doesn't matter how good his arm is. If you don't get the ball to him, party's over. So how much time do you practice snapping the ball to make sure that you 2 are in rhythm?
Well, coming from tight end to center, it was definitely a
interesting,
semi-hard adjustment, but really throughout the summer and before practice and after practice, I'm getting snaps every day. So the transition hasn't been too bad.
And tell me, what position do you play?
I play defensive end, and I play left tackle as well.
Left tackle. So, again, you've got skill in front of you. You guys got open holes. Tell me about the off-season weightlifting program that you guys did so you guys can open some holes on this offensive line.
A lot of the weightlifting we did I would say our junior year, it was more focused upon bench press. This year, it's a lot more focused on legs, having a strong base and being able to hold. I guess most of it comes from the legs. You got to be able to keep a wide base and be able to power through the defense more than anything.
Let's bring Coach in here for another second. I've covered your teams over the years where you had some big dudes. I mean, we're talking 6'6", 300 pounds and stuff.
Right.
The line's a little bit smaller this year. Is that a comfortable thing now? Because now you might have that a little bit more mobility to maybe move a pocket or to maybe just a sliver of light. You don't need to drive them forever because you do have skill.
Yeah, one of the things our offensive line coach John Kramer was talking to me about this summer is just how impressed he's been with the agility of our line, the fact that we can do some things because they're not big, slow guys that can't get off the ball. So that allows us to move some things, to get the ball to the outside, to pull linemen, to have them pull and reach and those types of things, which I'd much rather have an athletic offensive lineman, than a guy that can't move, because there are some times where you play, I think in high school football, not every defensive lineman is this big guy that you see on Saturday afternoons or Sunday night. A lot of them are just regular, just very good athletes, aggressive and quick, and so it's important you match that quickness on the offensive line. So, these guys have met that challenge with their athletic ability.
Well, that's great. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play this year. Like I said, I'm going to go to graduation just to make sure that Mick graduates, because it seems like I've been typing that name forever. But
we're going to sneak him back for another year.
There you go, redshirt program down in Chagrin Falls. I like that. How many of them are going on to Johns Hopkins? That's pretty much where everybody goes, right? Or Denison.
I'll let you know in December. I'll let you know.
Coach, thanks for being here.
Appreciate it very much.
Always good
Thanks
seeing
for
the
what
Tigers. You guys take care. Good luck to you this season, okay? I'll see y'all soon. Mick, good seeing you again, my man. Take care. Good luck at quarterback, buddy. All right, and next we got coming in the Hawken Hawks. It's going to be a fun year with Hawken Hawks. The first year that we have had a Hawken team here, Coach Stevenson's here, without Cliff Walton. Cliff Walton was coaching at Hawken when I was at Grand Valley, and we're not going to say how long ago that was, but it was a long time ago, back in the 80s. So it's a new guard here, a lot of optimism. I know numbers are on the rise. The youth programs are getting rolling on there. Coach Stevenson, so good to see you tonight.
It's nice to meet you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you. Thanks for being here. First of all, how's year one going? I know that you came from out of state to take over this a very proud Hawken program. How's year one going for you?
So far, it's going very well. So we've doubled numbers from the end of last year. We've got 30 kids. So right now we're working on 2 platooning, changing the style of practice, a little more up-tempo, and we're getting kids more reps. That's been the big thing for us, and then changing the culture. So getting kids to understand investing in each other, and then how we play for each other affects what we do on the field and how invested we are in the long term.
When you bring in a new system, where's the fine line between changing something and overloading everything to confuse them because you changed too much? Where's that fine line?
There is a fine line. So one of the things we're working on is keeping it simple. And if we can keep it simple, we can play a little bit faster. So, for example, our offense, in terms of our first 10 contact practices, we kept basically the same script for the entire time. We've just now introduced something new just so they can learn and get comfortable with the pace, then be able to develop from there. Because as a teacher, we don't want to overwhelm a student in the classroom. It's the same on the football field.
And having numbers helps. If you're hovering around 20 kids and some of them are freshmen, your varsity doesn't get a good look because they're blocking against someone who's just not managed to do that. Are you getting better looks in practice now because you do have better numbers?
We are getting better looks because we're thin at O-line, D-line. What we're doing, we have a full coaching staff, so we're using a lot of our coaches to get down there and help give us looks. So that's able to give us competitive balance and just make sure we can still execute our scheme, but we can also balance it for the kids so they're getting their individual work as well.
That's great. Tell me who you brought with you tonight and what their names are and what grade they're in.
Today we brought 2 seniors, Spencer Karen and Nate Grossman, and they're our captains for this year.
Spencer, thanks for coming here tonight. Tell me, what position do you play?
I'm a cornerback.
On defense?
Yes.
That's great. And in this league, you gotta stop the pass. I mean, I know that Kirtland doesn't pass the ball a lot, but everybody throws the ball these days. What's the importance of, first of all, your position to lock somebody down, but also getting a pass rush in front of you to take a little pressure off of you?
I mean, pass rush obviously helps. We talk about coverage sacks a lot of practice, so getting the pass rush to actually, cover someone for 4 seconds in a game, that doesn't help. So pass rush, you gotta get the quarterback.
Tell me about your leadership role. You're a captain on this team. I'm sure you take that very seriously.
Oh, of course. I love working with the DBs that back there in the secondary, but it doesn't just stop there. I think I love working with the linebackers and even with the defensive line a little bit.
Tell me a little bit about your new coach here. I mean, you didn't know him coming in. How has it gone so far? It seems like there's a lot of buzz on there, excitement down there in Hawken.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we were just talking earlier tonight. So much improvement since last year. We were saying, our bad days are this year like our mediocre days last year. So you can already see the improvement. I'm very excited for the season.
All right, and who do you got down here on the other end?
I'm Nate Grossman, and I play wide receiver and quarterback.
Quarterback, so can you throw the ball to yourself?
No, unfortunately, no.
They don't let you. You're not quite that fast,
no,
huh?
not that fast.
Which one do you prefer? I mean, is it the do you like throwing the ball or catching it? Which one do you prefer?
I prefer receiver. I've been playing receiver since freshman year. I've been kind of learning quarterback in the off season because we didn't know who was going to really play that position, so I've been learning that. But I definitely feel more comfortable at receiver.
Coach, is it better for your team if the other guy wins the quarterback battle that allows him to play receiver, or you just put the best players out there?
I think you got to have two. In my experience, sometimes you have someone who goes down, so having that backup that's experienced and knows the offense is great. And then when you have two different guys that bring two different styles of play, that really helps you be multiple in your offense, which is something we need to help surprise some people.
And I'm sure does that open up trick play possibilities? I don't want you to tip your hand here, Coach, but when you've got a guy that is playing out wide, it changes some things that you can do with the ball because you might be able to get it to him on a flank or a double pass or screen because he does have that.
Absolutely. It allows you to open up your playbook and be variable. So that's where it's exciting for me, having a guy that knows what the quarterback's looking for on the edge. He can also go in and play quarterback so he knows what it's supposed to be, what rhythm, what the timing of the route is supposed to be, and hit things on rhythm. So that makes it much easier as a coach when the guy understands what the quarterback is looking for.
That's great. Guys, thank you so much for coming up here tonight. Looking forward to seeing this edition of the Hawken Hawks. It's a proud program.
Thank you, sir.
Good stuff. Congratulations, Coach, on your new job, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
And it looks like next we have the Wycliffe Blue Devils coming in. A little bit of a change-up. Last year, Wycliffe has been to the playoffs the last 2 years out of the CVC Chagrin. This year, they're going to come into things in the CVC Valley. They are in the smaller division this year. Marquee program. Coach Porcello does a great job. Oh, we got the paparazzi. Look at you guys. You guys bringing everybody in to get pictures. The famous Wycliffe Blue Devils. And I have been covering you for like 15 years now. How many redshirt years did you burn through, buddy? Good. How many redshirt years have you used? I've been covering you for a long time. Good seeing you again. We are with Coach Porcello from the Wycliffe Blue Devils. Back-to-back playoff years, right?
Yeah.
How good is that for a program that says, it can happen here? I know you played in the playoffs when you played at Wycliffe, and now you're bringing it here as a coach. You've shown that this can happen.
Yeah, it definitely. I think previously it was 2001 we made the playoffs, and then we've had 2 straight years. Yeah, so, but yeah, when I played, we made the playoffs, but this is more special for me, to be honest with you, to be able to coach these guys and take them to the playoffs.
How different are the butterflies between a coach and as a player?
It's much worse as a coach, I would say. Yeah, as a quarterback, I was able to control the game a little better, and as a coach, you got to rely on these young men, and they've done a great job though so far. So.
And if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago you lost your first playoff game. Last year you won your first playoff game. Where's the bar set now?
We're going to try to get back, and then we'll go from there. We'll see who our opponent is week 11 if we can get there, and we'll see what happens. We'd like to, get to week 12 again and get some revenge on week 12. So
most would think going from the CVC, the bigger school, CVC Chagrin, to the smaller school, CVC Valley, would be a walk in the park. You traded in a team like Perry for Kirtland and Cuyahoga Heights. That's not exactly a cupcake.
No, it's not. There's some good teams in the Valley, and we're, like you said, Division 7 runner-up, Division 6 runner-up. So it's not going to be easy. We got to play every week, and it's going to be some battles.
Tell me who you brought with you tonight, Coach.
So to my right is Daenerys McCrae. He's a receiver and defensive back. That's our quarterback, Brad Dietrich, senior captain. Daenerys is also a captain, senior. And then senior captain Isaac Petway, running back and defensive back.
In his 7th year of high school eligibility.
It definitely seems like that.
Feels like it. I can honestly just start typing ISA and it just fills the rest of Isaac Petway. My phone is like name. It's not even last name. It's just a whole name. Everybody knows that now. So we're going to start off with your quarterback down there, Brad. Last year, you were first year starting quarterback last year? Is this?
Yeah.
Okay. How much did you take out of that playoff team? You got to lead a team to the playoffs. Has the game slowed down? Do you feel like a better quarterback now because you do have playoffs under your belt?
Yeah, I do feel like I'm better because of that experience of the playoff, and even starting last year kind of gave me more experience for this year. I kind of feel like I'm able to really play this year, and I feel more confident.
Tell me about that line that you have in front of you, because obviously offense isn't going anywhere. You're not throwing it, and Isaac's not running the ball if you guys don't have someone blocking.
We did downsize a little bit, but we still have power at the line, and they're quick, they're fast, and they know what they're doing now. So
you almost had to downsize a little bit because Jared and Dominic were houses. Let's bring in your young man here. What's your name and what position do you play?
My name is Daenerys McCray, and I play receiver and cornerback.
Receiver and cornerback. So you have an all-Ohio running back on your team that there will be 11 defenders and probably a couple coordinators following him wherever he goes on Friday nights, which means that a play-action pass should work, right, Coach?
Yeah, definitely. Should. Yeah,
So-
they're going to be keying on Isaac, that's for sure.
So that being said, are you looking forward to maybe getting some one-on-one coverage and having Brad get you the ball?
Oh, yeah. I've been talking to Coach P about it a lot, and I tell him, I'm like, just trust me, just throw that thing up, man.
He kind of turned his back. He turned his back there like he was kind of shy about.
I'm going to jump for it. I mean, my effort for the ball, I mean, I will jump for it. Like, I'll risk anything. You can ask anybody on the team. Like, I try.
Do you have him for class?
I did.
You did.
My
How many times?
sophomore year.
Every answer the question. Throw me the ball. Throw me the ball. So this is your year, huh?
Yeah, I mean, last year I only played defense, but then transitioning over to offense and defense, it's like a lot of pressure. But I'm willing to take on the pressure for the team. So
That's good. That's good. Do what the team needs. That's what makes a good player. Let's pass it on to Hollywood back there.
Hollywood.
My goodness. Did
not good.
I hear that you just got invited to a marquee football game?
Yes, sir, in December.
Let's hear about it.
So they select, I think, 90 seniors out of 6,000 kids for every year to go down and participate in the Blue Gray All-American Bowl game. So it's pretty exciting.
How about that? What did that make you feel? You haven't even played a game in your senior year yet. You've been chosen for a national all-star game. What was your impression when you got that call?
Probably just the hard work I had in the off season, and it's been really good for me, and all the hard work that we all brought together. So I think we all pushed hard for it.
You know, your sidekick, Nikki Six, graduated last year. Everything gets spread out a little bit. Now, like we just said a few minutes ago, everybody knows who Isaac Petway is going to be. I mean, are you expecting someone to jump you and defend you as soon as you get off the bus?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's going to be a challenge, but I have to take that with me and every week.
What's the motivation knowing the teams are going to game plan for you?
Just to keep working at it. You know that all 11 kids are going to come after me, so I have to keep pounding the ball wherever I'm at on the field.
And what does that say about your teammates? Because if 3 people are coming after you, that means someone else is going to be open to make a play, including him. So do you look at it like that your presence is going to make somebody else better?
Yes, I think our team is very trustworthy, especially with the kids I have. I think they'll block. You know, they'll do everything it takes just to gain that inch, you know, every play.
2 years in a row you got to the playoffs. You got a taste of a W last year. Can this team do it again?
I think we will. I think we have the strength and size and the trust. If we all come as a unit and work together, you know, every day and either in practice or off the field in class, just work hard, I think we have what it takes to get back to week 12.
Well, congratulations on your game. We will chat about that sometime next couple of days. We'll get a story written up.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Isaac. I'm proud of you. Coach Porcello, thank you for being here. Guys, good luck to the Blue Devils. Get back to the playoffs again this year, okay? Fun ride. That's just 3 in a row. Good seeing you again, my man. And we're bringing in the home team, the Beechwood Bison. Coach Creel and the crew in the house. You guys must have stumbled right off the practice field and into the gymnasium. Yes, we did. Well, no one's stinking, so we're good. We had a shower going first, so there we go. All right, we got the Beechwood Bison here, the home team. First of all, this is the first time we've had a CVC Media Day. How fun is it, A, to have one, and second of all, to host it?
It's tremendous. Appreciate what Don Lewis is doing for the conference. So it's great. It's great for the kids involved.
Little bit of a rebuilding year last year. I know that numbers are never big in the CVC and everything like that, but tell us about your numbers and where is the project right now as far as getting this thing built back up to where you want it to be?
We're still in the stage of building and getting the kids where we need to be. It's just tough, coming out of a losing culture and being in a situation where you're the small fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
So we're in the process. Our numbers are pretty decent. We got 38 kids, so we're pushing right there, and we're right at the corner. I tell the kids all the time, and I tell people around the community that if we were able to play against teams that look like us, that had 38 kids, that their offensive line or their defensive line, turned around and played as much as mine does, we'll be in good shape. It's tough to play against the Perrys of the world when they have a new defensive front or offensive front coming on, and my guys are still playing. The Genevas, who are big, West Cheese, who are big. So, again, we're just right at this point getting our kids to the point where they can compete against any situation and handling adversity and learning how to just grind through anything that happens.
Tell me who you brought with you tonight, Coach.
I got 3 seniors. I got Jacob Borson. I always say that. Sam Babish and Kyle Oliver.
Okay, we'll start off with Kyle sitting right here next to you. Oh, you're Kyle down there. Say, Kyle, let's start off with you. What position you play?
O-line and D-line.
O-line and D-line. And like I said, when numbers are a little bit skinny, you're playing both ways. Tell me about conditioning, the importance of conditioning, not only for you, but for this entire team, because you've got to be ready to play 48 every single day.
Right. So, like, in practice when we condition, you can't loaf. You have to go hard every time. Don't take plays off, just keep going hard. And, it's really a big mental thing. You can't be mentally weak.
And what does this? First of all, you got to stop somebody. You can score, but you got to stop somebody. What's the importance of defense, especially in the league when you've got a team like Perry that scores, Orange puts up a lot of points, Geneva's big, and you're a smaller school. Tell me about the defense that you guys need to play this year.
Well, defensively, I like defense, and it's just big that you stop somebody because if you continuously stop somebody, even if your offense doesn't score, you stay in the game. If you just keep scoring and it keeps going back and forth, you have a worse chance of winning the game. But if your defense is strong, then you'll be able to.
Who do you open up with, and who are you looking forward to seeing this year?
We open up with Akron North, and I'm looking forward to see Orange Week 10.
Orange Week 10. Well, you got 9 hurdles before then, so don't trip on any of those first, okay, buddy?
Yep.
Thanks for coming in tonight. We'll bring you in. Young man, what's your name?
Sam Babish.
In what position?
I play receiver and kicker.
Receiver and kicker. I tell you what. That is a very important part. Kicking often goes unnoticed. How important is that to you? I mean, how much time do you devote to that as far as kicking? Special teams, Urban Meyer always says it's the most important play in, and Jim Tressel, the most important play in sports. Tell me about your kicking.
So I go through the offensive parts of practice, and usually during the defensive parts of practice, I switch off every other day, and that's the time where I put in work into special teams.
And I know you like extra points better than field goals because that means that you guys just got 6.
Yes, very much so.
There you go. Tell me about this offense. Are they going to put you in a position to kick a lot of PATs this year?
As an offense, I think we have one of the best. I don't want to say the best, but we have a very good skill at the receiver and running back position. I think we've been putting a lot of hard work in, but that still needs to continue. And I think we're very anxious for the football season to start.
Okay, let's pass on your man back there. What's your name and position?
I'm Jacob Orson. This year I'm playing center and outside linebacker.
Center and outside linebacker. Were you center last year too?
I went back and forth from guard and center because our center he was injured a couple games, and I had to flip back and forth, but yeah, I was there.
I was going to ask, experience. You have experience. It's tough to be a first-year center on a varsity, but you have experience here. How much is experience going to help you because you have done that before on Friday night?
So a big thing with us is the fact that we have so few numbers that the experience comes from freshmen that play all 4 years. And so me and Kyle, we both played our freshman year, and we've stayed in the program until then. And that really, the fact that we actually played, we had minutes our freshman year, it slows down the game a lot. So it helps you understand what's going on and kind of build an IQ around the game. So that's I think that's our biggest disadvantage, that we have so few kids that go all 4 years, and that to me, really slows down the game and helps you understand what's going on more.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play this year. You've got the program on the upswing, Coach Creel. I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Keep slugging away. Keep opening up those holes. Get the ball back to your quarterback, okay? Good luck, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Good seeing you again, my man. And we are wrapping it up tonight with a newcomer. Not in the CVC this year, but it's coming. The Edgewood Warriors. I'm an Ashtabula County guy. I've known the Warriors. I've played against the Warriors. This is a very proud program they had out there going back to the days of Coach Dave Melaragno. It's an exciting time to have CVC expanding next year and having the Edgewood Warriors come in with Coach Butchko. How exciting. First year here with this program. Tell me about what we can expect for the Warriors this year. Even though you're not in the league until next year, we're going to be watching you.
Well, I hope we can just improve every week. You know, we don't have a great amount of, we don't have huge numbers. The program's kind of taken a couple steps backwards the last couple years. So I just hope we see weekly improvement. You know, you'll see a different brand of football being played, more attacking both offensively and defensively than we've seen in the past. We just have to create opportunities to get better, and I think that's really why we're going to play that way and what you can expect to see out of us this year.
Tell me about the fit that the CVC presents that made it so attractive to Edgewood. Like, yeah, we want to be in that.
Well, I think it's more schools that are just like us. Obviously, Lakeside's coming with us. Geneva's coming with us. We hope some other people follow suit in the future. But, you know, there's not really any familiarity with the schools in our current conference. You know, there's probably not very long-standing, relationship or rivalries with them. So with a little more familiarity, having played many of the schools in this conference at different points throughout our history, it just seems like it makes a little bit different, a little bit more sense. And the transportation is what, the school sites. It's shorter transportation, especially for non-football sports that play through the week. Instead of 60 miles to the Youngstown area, maybe 30 miles down I-90, which benefits, our kids to get home at a decent hour, and they probably have to go to school the next day most days.
Coach, tell us who you brought with us tonight, their names and what position they play.
This is Nick Munda. He's our starting tailback, and he plays middle linebacker for us. And then all the way down the end is Jacob Tackett. He's a center and plays on the defensive line, whether end or tackle for us.
Mr. Munda, what's your height and weight?
My height is 5'10" and 200 pounds.
I was going to say, you look like a pretty solid young man there. Are you the type that go over to Coach on the sideline, hey, Coach, give me the rock, I got this?
Oh, of course. I love carrying the ball. It's great.
Did you have experience last year playing running back?
I did, but I got hurt early in the season. But, yes, over the years.
Tell me about the off-season workouts that you might have done to get yourself healthy, maybe a little bit stronger so you avoid that injury bug this year.
Of course. I took the step into gaining weight, kind of like a bulk season type, strengthening myself, becoming more familiar with my positions, and just kind of honing my skills overall for my senior year.
If you're a running back, someone's got handed off to you. Who you got behind you at quarterback this year?
Aaron Picatko.
Gotcha. I remember the Picatkos covered a lot of Jamie and a lot of girls out there playing sports out there. So the Picatkos very athletic family out there. How important is it to have a passing game in some way so you don't have 11 defenders and 3 coordinators sitting in the box waiting for you?
Oh, it's extremely important. At Edgewood, we're used to a wing T offense, and this spread offense is new and very great. We're very excited to pass the ball this year.
And speaking of new, you get to come into this league next year. What are the thoughts? Is there a buzz around the program getting into the CVC next year?
Oh, yes, we're very excited for it. The students and the athletic body, we're very, very excited for it. We're going to play teams that are a lot more familiar to us, and we're playing teams that we've grown up playing, and that's always great.
Good, glad to hear it. Let's pass it on to your young man there. What's your name and position?
Jacob Tackett, plays center and defensive end.
Tackett's, that's a very famous name in Edgewood for athletes down that way. Do you have other brothers that played in this program?
No, I do not.
Okay, there's other names. I've seen Tackett out there, so maybe even over in Ashtabula before that.
Yeah.
Offense and defensive line?
Yep. Yes, sir.
The importance of anchoring down the line. It doesn't matter what type of skill you have behind you. You guys have to take care of business in the trenches.
Yes, I think our line this year, we're a very young group, but we listen very well and we're getting our plays down. But yes, you need to have a strong line, especially with this type of offense. But yeah, we're definitely in a better position we were than last year.
You can get over being young and inexperienced by getting your butt in the weight room in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the weights in the summertime that Coach Butch put you guys through to get you guys ready for this.
A lot of our guys, a lot of our line was in there, a lot of our younger guys, and we went hard in the weight room. whether it was bench, squat, deadlift, clean. A lot of our guys, we work well as a team too, whether it's in the weight room or off the field or on the field. A lot of us work well as a team, and I'm looking forward to it.
Who do you guys open up with this year?
We open up with Lakeside over at Ashtabula Lakeside next Friday.
How excited are you for that? Your first game, a neighborhood rivalry, and two teams that are coming into the league next year. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, and I'm just very new to Ashtabula, but there's kind of an opinion that we're the little brother to them up there. And certainly, you know, I thought one of the very first things I needed to do when I took this job was we don't need to take anything from them and their people anymore. You know, we've very openly talked all off season about, you know, going out there and getting the first one. And we've certainly spent a little time, you know, whether it was camp or 2-a-days, preparing for the guys across town.
Well, guys, I'm so glad you were here. I'm looking forward to having you in the league next year as full members. Congratulations. Welcome to the CVC, and thank you for coming tonight.
Well,
okay.
Thanks for having us. And I heard we get to go first next year. So
oh, there you go. Hey, if you reserve first, I heard that's how it goes.
Right, next year, right?
There you go. They're in the house. So thank you, guys. The Edgewood Warriors in the house here. We're going to bring in Doc Lewis here, the commissioner of the CVC. Wrap this all up tonight. It's been a fun night. You know, we had the entire league here tonight. The Geneva Eagles, God love them, they're still waiting for me because I needed to talk to Coach. So, God, thank you so much. We'll be with you in a second. And we have Brian Hiscox. Brian Hiscox tonight footed the bill for all the pizza. How many pizzas did you bring in here, my man?
There were 51 total pizzas. There's some
how many
big boys in here.
Yeah, how many pieces are left?
Not very many.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's pretty
couple
skinny.
Spare.
Yeah, you might have a couple crusts that no one wanted to chew on down there. Doc Lewis, I just want to say thank you so much. You've come in here and taken over the CVC as a commissioner. Amazing league. It's a forward-thinking league now. How excited are you where this league is now and where it's headed? Thank you.
The big guy sitting next to me, I remember when he played basketball.
Yeah.
I've seen him many times. And, you know, it's guys like Brian Hiscox that makes this league what it is. I've just been fortunate enough to be part of this for last year, and coming forward that we're going to move in a positive direction. And I'm going to tell you, John, it's been a lot of fun. It's been really a lot of fun for me.
The league changes next year as we know it. Tell us about who's coming into the league, where they're going to slot in, and how we got to this point.
I'll start out by telling you the teams. I'll turn it over to Brian. We have 6 teams coming in. We have Ashtabula Edgewood, which we just had on the podium here. We have Ashtabula Lakeside, Grand Valley. We have Brooklyn, Trinity, and Lutheran West. We're very excited. We've had some big teams and some smaller teams, and the competition is outstanding. And really, as we put this thing together, Brian is the one who put the divisions together. So he's probably better to talk about than I am.
How hard was that, Brian, to take what we already have, add 6 new pieces, and shift everybody around to where they should be?
Well, interestingly enough, a lot of the schools that are coming in are already people who play a lot of CVC opponents, and if you look at them geographically, they're all in a specific location as it is too. So, you know, football is the one thing where you kind of go by size, obviously, with the computer points and whatnot, but, you know, looking at school size and geography, you know, there's a natural area right there along Lake Erie where you have Perry, you have Edgewood, you have Geneva, you have Lakeside. There's some west side schools with Lutheran West, Trinity, not east or west side, but Trinity's out there, and Brooklyn, who can fit right in with an Independence in the Cuyahoga Heights, and then you got Grand Valley coming in, who's a historic rival with schools like ours and Cardinal and Kirtland. So being able to keep those rivalries intact by not having to send teams that far away for non-conference or for conference games is going to be a fun little puzzle to put together. We're working through it right now with our athletic directors in the league, and hopefully going to the principals with something soon. But it's been an interesting and fun little project here over the last couple months.
I know that we don't want to get ahead of ourselves because we haven't even had this project come into fruition now, but what do you want to see this conference be down the road? It seems like it's big and it's stable right now. Is that really what the ultimate thing? Offer an awful lot of things, teacher symposium, music symposiums, a little bit of everything?
Yeah, I mean we're an athletic league, but we do a lot of things already within the academic realm as well, and we are always looking on ways to expand that and kind of highlight the kids that we do have in all of our schools, because all the schools are different. They offer a little bit of a different demographic with kids who are interested in different things, and we're trying to highlight as many things as we possibly can for our 22 schools so far.
About tonight, wow, how fun was this? We had all the CVC schools here tonight. Plus one, plus an almost CVC school. Where did this idea come from, and how fun was it? Did you guys have as much fun as I did tonight?
I had a blast. We did this last year. First time I was involved. I think they'd done this before, right, Brian? And I think they got mothballed for a little bit. We brought this concept back last year, and it's just fun to meet the kids and the coaches and some of the parents that came out. We decided to do it this year, and with the help of Steve Hare and yourself, I think it was a smashing success.
I think so too, guys. Thanks so much for having me tonight. Thank you to Steve Hare. He's running the board back there, and he's done everything for us tonight. Thank you to everybody, all the teams, coaches, players that made the effort to come up here to Beechwood tonight. CVC, it's a big thing right now. Great things are coming. I mean, we talked earlier about what's going on down in Burton. These schools are all growing. We're getting it slotted in. We're expanding. We're getting it slotted into where they should be. It's an exciting time to be in the CVC, and I'm really happy you had me in here tonight.
There's no question. The fact that we've expanded. I believe the CVC is now the second largest athletic school conference in the state of Ohio, which we're very proud of. The guys always laugh when I run these meetings. They say we're not done yet. I'd like to see it bigger, because the bigger you are, I think if you've got the right leadership, which I have with my ADs and my principals, I think you can run a bigger league and give more latitude to schools and get the competition better. And the more schools you have, I think, like Brian said, we can do much more things with not only athletically but academically.
Yeah.
That's the push.
Well, we'll keep on grinding it out, and we good tonight, Steve? Excellent time. Thank you so much, Steve Hare, behind the buttons over there, helping us out. Thank you, Brian, for bringing the pizzas in tonight. I know the kids enjoyed that. Thank you to everybody who came in here, the players, the coaches, the staff. We had other parents coming in taking pictures. I'm sure there's going to be photos all over. CVC is going to be the envy of Northeastern Ohio. It's run right. Congratulations to you guys. Let's keep this thing rolling.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Signing off, I'm John Kampf. Thanks for being here, folks.